The Dallas Mavericks have officially, and I mean officially, hit rock bottom. I don't think it could get any worse for an NBA team, franchise, or ownership slash front office. Um, as if trading away one of the biggest superstars in the game wasn't enough. You get back another top 10, fringe top 5 player. He plays 2 quarters and gets hurt. Amidst that, your other big man gets hurt with a fractured ankle. Amidst that, your other big man has an MCL sprain. In the midst of that, you have another starter that was on your championship team last year. He suffers a sprained ankle, and also your star point guard, Kyrie Irving, goes down as well, and he's out for the season. Fellas, how bad is this? And a torn ACL, by the way, by Kyrie.
You're muted, Chill.
Chill, you're muted.
Ron, what I want to do is I want to give the floor to the resident Dallas fan over here, and I'd like your insight, Rodell. What's going on with your Dallas Mavericks, and how do you feel about what's going on right now with your crew?
I want to be very clear. I am a Luka fan, not a Dallas Maverick fan.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about, Mars, right? Because y'all dudes know how I feel about Jason Tatum, but y'all roast me about the Celtics. Do not let this dude shit. Don't.
Nah, here, Luka not even on the Mavs. Luka's not even on the Mavs.
Last year during the playoffs, all this dude was talking about was we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we got a shot. And Luka was on the crew. Meanwhile, I'm a Jason Tatum guy, and y'all roast me about the Celtics. Roast me.
Because Jason Tatum's on the Celtics.
So let me make sure I'm clear. So, Rodell, are you saying that you're a Laker guy now? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, we're part of the media cartel now.
See, told you.
Now, all right. So chill.
So I'm not gonna hear no more logic from you about the Dallas Mavericks. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I feel like the difference in this situation is how Luka left the Mavs, though. It's really hard to. That's why a lot of people were saying, "I'm not mad at you if you leave the Dallas Mavericks team," because the way they were slandering Luka's name on the way out was one of the craziest things I've seen. I think people try to compare it to like LeBron James when he left the Cleveland Cavaliers that first time. And a lot of people jumped off that ship too. So this is not just he got traded away. Okay, whatever. No, they kicked him out and then spit on his grave while he was going out. So this is hard to really like be okay with what the Mavericks are doing, considering what the owner has been saying and the GM's been saying. But I always still like appreciate the Mavs because I like Kyrie. Kyrie's redemption tour, fantastic. I am sad that Kyrie Irving got injured. I like PJ Tucker. I like Gafford. I like Lively. I like all the players. PJ Washington, my bad. I like all the players.
Right.
But I'm not gonna root for a team that slandered my boy. That's just not happening.
So you out. So you out then.
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
So there's no more logic about the Dallas Mavericks. So when this crew, if you look at their roster, when this crew gets healthy and you look at their roster and next season, I don't know, they fourth in the Western Conference and they look like they could be the favorites to win the West. Are you still out?
Yeah, I'm not going to be rooting for the team, but I mean, at that point, you say when they get healthy, there's a lot of questions on what's going to happen with the Mavericks moving forward. Because one, Kyrie Irving, they're speculating, might need to get a max contract. And we saw what the owner said. They don't want to pay people. They didn't want to pay Luka of all people. So the question of them maxing Kyrie, very big question, of course. And the injury, a lot of people are speculating that it's not a situation where next season, the beginning of the season, Kyrie's coming back healthy. Now, there's a concern that he's going to be gone for a couple of months going into next season. So even when they're healthy, the question is, when will they be healthy? Will they ever be complete? And will this team even be what they are by next year, considering potential moves they have to make? So the be healthy thing is questionable at this point.
So the Kyrie Irving tore his ACL yesterday. So 9 months from today, that's December the 3rd. Kyrie Irving should be doing something. I'm thinking he'll be back on the court by December. I don't think that this is a wash season. I'm having a difficult time thinking that next season Kyrie Irving is not playing the whole season. That's number one. Number two, he's got a player opt in his contract. Who's paying? I don't think that there's anybody that's paying Kyrie Irving at 32 years old coming off a major knee injury, the max of what he's trying to get. So I think he opts into this deal to get this bread. I don't think he leaves that money on the table. I think he opts in to get this bread, which means I think he'll be on the crew next year. Then you add in PJ Washington, who doesn't have a history of injury. You have Anthony Davis, who was playing almost 90% of the games this year before he got hurt. This was the same injury that he was dealing with last year. This is not an injury that's different from last year. It just got worse this year. He was dealing with it last year, and he still was awesome. Let's see. Derek Lively, who's young, he's going to be in year 3. I think you keep Gafford. I think you end up keeping Gafford, and I like the way that this roster is put together. If they were healthy today going into the playoffs, who do you like to beat them? I think every series that they play in, if they were healthy, Davis is ready, Irv is ready, Klay Thompson, all of these guys are ready. I like them in every series that they play in. Every last one of them. Does that mean that they're going to win every series? But I think they got a legit shot at winning every series that they play in.
Do they have a legit shot? I would agree. I still think that the Thunder would beat them in a series. Based on the Lakers and how they play now, yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers. The Nuggets, questionable because of everything going on with the rest of the roster not named Jokic. And obviously Jokic's defensive deficiencies that can be taken advantage of. But we also seen,
like the Lakers did.
Yeah. So right. I will still take the Nuggets. So that's 3 series. But the Mavs are 100% contenders with that defense.
Why are you taking
obviously
the Nuggets?
The offense is going to be the question, especially in clutch time, especially if you blitz Kyrie Irving, who's going to be able to have the ball in their hands and make certain plays.
Yep.
Questionable. But yeah, Mavs, when they were healthy, we saw the defense they put on that sorry Houston Rockets team. It was disgusting. So I mean, I'm not mad at it. Sorry, Boris,
That was unnecessary, but I guess. Thanks.
So, fellas, February 8th, Anthony Davis suffers an adductor injury in his Mavs debut. March 3rd, Kyrie Irving goes down. Now, I have to ask you guys, because obviously these are their 2 top players. Everything's in shambles. The fans are definitely calling for Nico Harrison to be fired. What is next for the Dallas Mavericks?
To win. That's it. To win. Winning cures everything. No matter what however y'all dudes feel about what Nico Harrison did, this roster gets healthy and these guys make a deep playoff run and they end up in the NBA championship. And with some luck, they end up winning this thing. Y'all gonna forget about what happened with Luka. That thing with Luka is gonna be over. Y'all gonna forget all about that. So what has to happen with him moving off of Luka? They have to win. They have to do that. Getting to the playoffs isn't good enough. Getting to the Western Conference Championship isn't good enough. They have to win it. And the way that this roster is built, like I told you already, I think this is a 3-year window with Kyrie Irving at 32, with Anthony Davis at 32. This is a 3-year window for them to win it. Now, I know that considering what Luka is doing in Los Angeles right now, it looks like, this is a disaster. No, this doesn't have to work right now, but we do have a window where this has to work within the next 3 years. It has to.
Yeah, Chelsea, what you just mentioned right there is not focusing on your yard. You know what I mean? We can't. If you in Dallas, you can't look at what's going on in LA. Like, yeah, they got some fly shit going on over there. That's dope. But you got to keep your head down and do your work. You know what I'm saying? Water your grass and keep your shit together.
Yeah, but you see the thing, Ox? They don't got one of them big tall fences. They got a picket fence. They can't help but to look and see the big ass pool in the Lakers yard.
I'm glad you brought that up.
They look but help to see that they got a water slide over there.
What you looking over there for? That's LA. Don't look at La La Land and compare what you got. On top of that,
the grass ain't just green and it ain't just cut and they don't just got fancy bushes and water slides and whatnot. Hey, they got people over there tanning too.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mind your business.
Nice bathing suits.
And you know how we do that, Ox? Guess what we do? We build a bigger fence. We have the means to build a fence too, and we don't got to pay attention to what's going on over there. It's not like we got a fence that's just grounded, this picket fence, and we can't move it. No, we can get a bigger fence over here. We can get focused on what we're doing. We can stay focused on what we're doing, which is what they're doing. They got a crew put together. That I think with all intents purposes of them being healthy, if they can stay healthy, I think that they can win.
I'm not
right, exactly. That's what I'm saying though. Like, damn the fence. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to build no fence. I just need to focus on my job. Focus on my players. You know what I mean? Nico didn't tear Kyrie's ACL.
No, he didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Nico didn't do whatever happened to AD. You know what I mean? Nico just make the moves. He just bring the ingredients. Now y'all bake the cake. You know what I'm saying? So I'll still stand on the same thing I said about the trade from the beginning. Like there's obviously a reason why they made the trade, whether we agree with it or not, whether we think it's crazy or not. There was something going on with them, and they made that happen. So now, like to your point, Chill, now it's time to focus on next year. I don't think there's any reason for Anthony Davis to come back onto the court this season. I don't think there's any reason.
The whole thing is a wash. The whole thing.
No, just get healthy. You know what I'm saying? At this point, we got to focus on health and things like that. And next year, I mean, they come back healthy. I think they're one of the top teams in the West. So, Nico, all Nico and the Mavs got to do right now is just block out the outside noise and focus on what they're doing. Because right now, it looks terrible if you're being short-sighted. If you're only thinking about, oh, well, LA's doing this and we're doing that. Nah, it's, life, as long as the sun keeps coming up in the morning, we're going to make it to next season. We're going to be all right. So,
one more thing, Ox, too. Nico need to get some pit bulls, Rottweilers, Greyhounds, whatever, in that backyard and front yard. He need to up his security. And
I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about you running up on me. Let me tell you why. Because once we do, to Ox's point, once we do what I think we can do, all that stuff going to go away. All of that stuff is going to go away. I'm
not going to lie.
Off of that. You are.
Still, Ox, y'all are making this sound like it's like better than it actually is. I'm going to be honest. Because the way that they sold the Mavs fan base, which most of them did not agree with, but the pitch that they gave them is, like you guys said, short window. One of those years from that window is absolutely gone. And we're worried about Luka staying healthy. Kyrie, AD, Lively, Gafford, all of them are getting injured. So now the pitch that you sold backfired. The two biggest points you made backfired on you. And now you gave up not only the biggest star you had since Dirk Nowitzki, but you gave up long-term success down the line with Luka, who more than likely, I think we all agree here, would have been on the team for his entire career. So
we don't know that. We can't say that for sure.
But let's speculate and say that he would have been on the crew for that long. That's why they didn't want to pay him, because they saw the future of Luka. That's why they did what they did on the way out the door, which I thought was whack. Like if we breaking up, all right, just go. You ain't got to talk about how I was, not doing this and not doing that. We breaking up, and I'm cool with that. I got no problem with that. But this was a short-term investment anyway. And a short-term investment is not 6 months. A short-term investment is not a year. This short-term investment is 3 years. You still got Anthony Davis in his prime. You still got Kyrie Irving. He's in his prime still with a torn-up knee, which is going to improve. This is not 1987 where a torn ACL was a death sentence. That's not what's going on today. Guys come back from ACL injuries. Guys come back from Achilles injuries, and they still can play. And Kyrie Irving is one of those guys who I think will come back. Don't forget, he did crack his knee in 2015 in the NBA Finals, and he came back super sharp. So Kyrie Irving, if anybody can do it, I think that he's one of those guys who can do it. On top of that, Anthony Davis, he'll be back next season. PJ Washington, he'll be back next season. Klay Thompson, he'll be back next season. All of these guys will be back next season. With all of these guys being back next season, with that window shortening, the window still is open, Roddell. It's not like with the window shortening, all of a sudden the window is closed. Like, oh shit, Kyrie Irving is hurt. Anthony Davis is hurt. We're finished now. No, that window is still open. We still have time to do this. We just got to stay focused on the plan. I know how you feel about Luka, and I know that he's a generational talent and the kind of money that he would have brought in and the star that he was. I can appreciate that. But what's the ultimate goal here when you're talking about the Dallas Mavericks? Winning. That's all they care about in Dallas. Winning. And if they win within the next 3 years, this isn't going to be nearly as bad as we think it is. It's not going to be.
I think
right quick, Riddell. Yo, King, I want you to chime into this conversation and talk to us about how you feel about this whole situation. Everything it's been a while since we've seen you. Glad that you're back up here. Obviously, last time you came up here, none of this had happened. What is your thoughts on the whole situation?
Can't hear you, brother. You're muted. We can't hear you. My man, we can't hear you, brother. We can't hear you. See if we can get you hot. See if we can get him back hot.
All right. Well, while he getting it together, Riddell, what was you gonna say?
What? And like I said, I like Kyrie now. The redemption arc. Love Kyrie. Love everything that he's been doing on the Mavericks. There's also has to be a worry that Kyrie, when he comes back, is not going to be the same Kyrie too. Because even though medicine's getting better, it's still a major injury. And also, Kyrie Irving, before he got injured, was taking so much of a load on that offense that Kyrie was in the conversation to be a first-team All-Pro. And if they were winning more games, he could have potentially be a MVP candidate. Mars' favorite term, in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But Kyrie Irving was balling out. He was cooking when it comes to scoring and creating his own baskets. And he was doing a pretty good job in terms of playmaking for the rest of the team. Now, coming off an ACL injury, the expectation is Kyrie's going to be able to carry the load that much on this Mavericks team. That's hard to sell. That's hard to sell, especially depending on what the roster will look like next year. So I don't know. It's such an uphill battle for the Mavs to even be in contention to be a contender next year moving forward and years moving forward with the injury, with the contract, with what the rest of the roster is going to look like. I mean, this is glass half empty type feeling for me. I don't know how people are looking.
How would you feel? How would you feel about the Mavericks right now if they still had Luka, but Kyrie has towards ACL? So if it was Luka out there, no Kyrie, no Gafford, no Lively, no Kyrie, no Gafford, no Lively, and it was just Luka and the rest of the squad, would you feel like they were a playoff team? Were they a contender or what?
Oh, Luke, without Kyrie, the Mavericks this year would have been a playoff team, but probably
without Kyrie, without Lively, and without Gafford.
I'll say play in then. Play in if you're including all the players. I think they'll be a play-in team, potentially make the playoffs still. That is a lot of injuries. Their big man depth is disgusting. I've already criticized Dwight Powell being one of the worst basketball players in the NBA constantly. So it's not great. With that said, at the very least, they still have a future.
No Max Christie either.
Yeah. At the very least, they still have a future. Kyrie, if he comes back, wouldn't have to have that offensive load. And a huge part of it is the bargaining chip potentially getting that big player in the free agency, Kevin Durant. Because if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm looking at this Mavericks team in the offseason. I'm like, 80 injured, Kyrie injured. I don't know. If Luka was still there, it's like, okay, I could still come back for Luka, and then Kyrie comes here. 80 and Kyrie, what they looking like right now, I don't know if free agents are looking at the Mavericks like, yeah, that's dysfunctional. I'm not going over there. So there's a lot more things to at the very look positively at, despite the injuries, compared to now. You got 2 years, man.
2 years.
All right, my man.
That's what kind of time you giving me? 2 years. Okay.
You back good, King?
Yeah, you guys can hear me?
Yeah, you hot?
Okay, yeah, they switched my mic settings. Appreciate you guys for having me on. So my thoughts on this, last time I came on, I will say the Mavericks were still banged up. I'm pretty sure the last time I was on, Gafford was out, or Lively was out, Luka was still out. So they were still banged up. But it's just crazy to see, like, they were in the NBA Finals competing for a title. Some people had the Mavericks to go back to the finals. Some people had them to make a deep playoff run. Then they make this crazy trade out of nowhere. And then it's like, okay, everybody hates the GM, whatever the case may be. And then AD plays, 2-3 quarters, he gets hurt. Gafford gets hurt. Lively's already out. Now Kyrie tears his ACL. I cannot believe this, bro. Like, talk about they have like a black cloud over them. I don't know what happened, but they got the injury bug bad this year.
They cursed?
You could say this season. I'm not going to say they're a cursed franchise, but yeah, you could say this season. That's crazy, man. Can't believe that. I would say the best thing that they could do, shut AD down. Don't even let him come back. Just tank for the rest of the season.
Which is what they're going to do anyway.
Do they have their first round pick this year?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So then, yeah, you might as well do that then.
There's no reason for these guys. I mean, I think they're in the 10th spot right now. They're not making the playoffs.
No, they're not.
Irv is done. And even if they were to compete in the play-in tournament, they're not going far.
Nope.
So because of that, I mean, what's the point in having any of these guys out here? Just get ready for next season.
Absolutely.
Which, if you got ready for next season, like I said, Gafford to be available. Not only will Gafford be available, Lively will be ready. He has the whole offseason to get correct. Not only does he have the whole offseason to get correct, Anthony Davis will be in better shape next season, or he'll be in great shape next season. All of these guys, I feel like, will be ready. I understand the setback of Kyrie Irving, at 32 years old, because I've seen guys getting hurt. I mean, Kevin Durant, what was he, 29 when he tore his ACL? Achilles, when he was 29, and then that hamstring injury. Like Kyrie Irving, he doesn't have a history of major injuries. He cracked his knee at 15. That was 10 years ago, right? That was since then it's been nagging things. And can he come back from this? I'm only looking at this isn't a 5 or 6 year project. I got Kyrie Irving for probably 2 more years, and I can appreciate where we are with the money, but there's no reason for him to leave that money on the table and go test the free agency market with a torn ACL. I think he'd be putting himself in a real bind if he did that.
Right. And Chill, here's the unfair thing. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just agreeing. Go ahead, you got it.
Oh, yeah. Here's the unfair thing. The more, I guess it's over now, but the more that they got hurt, the worse it looks for Nico Harrison, and that's not fair. That's not fair at all. Well, they're gonna blame him as if he got them hurt or something.
Right? They already are. But the thing about it is too, like, once again, we already said, give him some time next year. Once after Kyrie's surgery and all that, leave AD off the floor. The thing about it though is, I think a lot of the youth are really upset because when you haven't been alive that long, a year seems like so long. It's like it's never gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, it's a year, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But once you've lived enough years, you'll be like, it's just it's a year. It'll be okay. Give it some time. You know what I mean? So I think Dallas's best, their best bet right now is just to exercise patience and just don't rush. Don't try to force anybody to play too fast. Don't end up in a Joel Embiid situation. Just calm down and Nico, you already made the moves. The moves already been made. Luka's gone. So right now it's just about making the best out of the situation.
What's going to compound this is if what happens with the Lakers is what everybody thinks is going to happen. So let's say the Lakers end up in the NBA championship. This is going to make this look even worse. This is going to make this look even worse because what it's going to remind everybody of, what's going to remind me of in particular, is when the Lakers traded Shaq, and then 2 years later, they in the NBA championship and they win the NBA championship. Even though the Lakers ended up going with the young guy and Bryant. See what you guys did? We could have still been winning championships if Shaq was still here. We could have still been doing this if Shaq was still here. Look what you guys did. Well, if Luka ends up going to the Lakers and they end up in the NBA championship and the Dallas Mavericks don't make the playoffs, it's just going to compound this thing, which is why over the next 2 to 3 years, they have to win because people completely forget about after the Lakers won back-to-back that Shaq was traded. They forgot about that. Like Shaq was traded. He was first team All-Pro. They won the NBA championship the next year. They forgot about the fact that he was traded because Kobe was still there and they ended up winning the championship in back-to-back seasons. So all was forgiven. But with what the Lakers are doing right now, I mean, if we're being honest, Ron, more times than not, you're not going to get 65 and 20 from your 2 best players. I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to have, right? If I drive a Ferrari, I ain't gonna take the Ferrari to the freeway and stand on the gas, but I can push this bitch up to 180 every once in a while. It's a cool thing to have. It's kind of like what's going on with the Lakers right now. So I think it's gonna end up making it worse.
With that though, like with what you just said, like every now and then you can push it up to 180. Typically, with them, every time they get in the car on the freeway, they liable to hit 180. On any given night, Luka and LeBron could go 30 for 30. Y'all remember the little ESPN documentaries? Y'all remember that? It could be a 30 for 30 special for them.
Is that realistic, Ron?
Chill. They made that look so easy last night. And I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, it was just against the Pelicans.
Right.
Y'all know Luka good for 30 on any given night. And LeBron that we seeing right now, he good for 40 any given night. So it's like, just get used to it.
Yeah, the Lakers are doing something great. Wouldn't have imagined me rooting for the Lakers. I'm being honest.
Hold on for 1 second. This is such a crock right here because KD had a major injury. after his major injury, he didn't have another major injury. That's not what was going on with KD. That's not what happened with him. He had minor injuries after that. And they kept him out of the lineup because he was getting older. With Kyrie Irving, he had a major injury, and he's got enough time to recover from this injury on a damn good team. So it's not the same thing. It's not biased. Give me a break.
To be fair, Chill, when KD got his major injury on the Warriors and when he came back, obviously he was still KD, still great, but he obviously didn't move the same. He wasn't attacking as much. He didn't have that as quick of a drive to the lane, of course. Kyrie Irving, a big part of his game is his shiftiness, being able to change directions, being able to attack the basket. For Kyrie in particular, this is a not good, and this is more problematic considering the load and considering his play style. So I think I would be really worried for Kyrie Irving having this injury on a team where he has this much of an offensive responsibility on a Mavericks team that doesn't have ball handlers that can consistently play make on the team right now.
Do it. We'll see if he can come back. I think he can. We'll see if he can come back and be just as sharp.
And y'all brought up Nico Harrison a couple different times and said he's not at fault or that is he didn't tear Kyrie's ACL, which he didn't.
He didn't.
Kyrie's ACL was torn off of a play that he made, and he just didn't land right. But you do have to put some things into context. You trade away your secondary ball handler or primary ball handler, who Kyrie was playing off. You trade him for somebody that is injury prone and has a history of injuries. He gets hurt the first night. In that period of time, when AD goes down, Kyrie all of a sudden, in an attempt to keep the franchise above water, plays the most minutes in the NBA. He's already aging. We know Kyrie's history. He's already aging. He already has an injury history, and you up his workload.
Okay, so stop right there, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Jay Kidd's. I'm not saying Jay Kidd's at fault for this. I'm not saying Nico's at fault for this, but you
Jay
just
Kidd
work
what
out
were they supposed to do?
That make me nuts, man. Because you got
Jay Kidd playing his players, Ron. Somebody got to play. Being hurt, you get hurt. That's just
but
part
can
of
spike
it.
his minutes.
Yeah,
But
it's the back half of the season.
Somebody got to play, Ron.
Yeah, and you got a bench. Najee Marshall can run point.
He can, but
Dante Exum can run point. I'm just saying, like, and I don't want to make it seem nasty, like they ran him into the ground.
That's what it sounds like.
When AD went down, his minutes spiked. And you're asking Kyrie to carry the full load for the team and win games for you. It's just is it a coincidence?
Ox, you as a baller, more than anything as a ball player, where do you want to be, Ox?
On the floor.
On the floor, Ron. These dudes want to play. Do you think that these dudes is like, man, damn, I got to play 35 minutes tonight. Hell yeah, these dudes want to play every minute.
And that's why they just sent through that super chat. Saying that you don't keep the same consistency because you're the same person saying Kyrie wants to play, so play him 40 minutes. But now with AD, all of a sudden the logic clicks on in your brain, and you're like, sit him for the rest of the season and exercise patience, and we'll wait next year to win. So if that's the case, let's play AD.
There's no reason for AD to play.
Why is AD playing, Ron? This season, why is AD playing?
You were playing, Ron. You were playing Kyrie because you were expecting AD to be back soon.
That's why. So none of these dudes are coming back. And
I understand that.
Do you think that Anthony Davis doesn't want to play?
Not the same thing.
If Anthony Davis was healthy enough to play, he definitely wants to play. He wants to be on the floor for 35. He does not want to sit on the sideline, especially having to listen to people like us talk about him that he's made of glass and he's day-to-day Davis. He absolutely wants to kill that narrative. 100% he does. That's just not fair, Ron. No.
I know it's not fair, but you're going to sit down AD because you want him to be healthy for next season. The thing I'm trying to say is you didn't have to play Kyrie 40 minutes a night.
Ron, we still was in contention.
I understand that. You didn't have to play Kyrie 40 minutes a night, though.
How much would you have played him?
It was like 5 minutes into the game when he got hurt.
I understand.
That's true too.
Which means that could have happened with Luka. That could have happened with Anthony.
And it like happened in the fourth quarter.
Injuries can happen on any given night. Obviously, he could have did that on a night where they were blowing somebody out, and he only played 23 minutes. But it is such a thing.
Hurt himself in his condo.
It is such a thing as wear and tear. That is a thing.
I'm just asking a question because I don't know. I'm gonna ask a question. Were you guys this patient with when Tom Thibodeau plays his players so many minutes. Did you guys think that, hey, it's okay, they want to play? Or was there somewhat of a backlash? You say what?
We talk about that all the time. We do, and to your point, we do a lot of times say like, "Damn, Tom," like, you know what I'm saying. You can give Josh Hart a rest. You know what I'm saying, Mikal. But at the same time, I do believe that Josh Hart, Mikal, OG, Jalen Brunson, I believe they want to play basketball.
Yeah, and I think
answer that question. Tom Thibodeau's
why not have them on the floor?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, especially when it's a situation where it's like up in the air, like Kyrie Irving. There's no denying he's been put on so much pressure. The responsibility he's been giving, I'm sure he did not think that this was going to be a thing coming into the season. So he's a guy that we know has injury issues. He's a guy that's in his 30s, of course. He's a guy that previously was taking a backseat to Luka as a ball handler and playmaker. Now he's on a team where he's the main offensive responsibility, in addition to the injury issues that he had in the past. And now he's playing more minutes. And now he has all the pressure of carrying a Mavericks team that was in the finals last year because of the microscope they have because of what happened with the Luka Doncic trade. That's a lot of responsibility for a man who didn't expect to be the number one on the team.
Right. But and another point too, because that's just like when we had Austin up here, not yesterday, but the time before. I believe that was Austin, right? I think we were talking about Thibodeau. And he was like, whoa, like, no. You're not going to find any player in the locker room to say, take me out, coach, you're playing me too much. You know what I mean? So just coming from that standpoint too, just as a pro baller like Austin Day is, you know what I'm saying? He even like, bro, if you play me 48 minutes, play me 48 minutes. Like, I'm trying to play. So,
and Rodell, just so you know, James Harden averages 35 minutes a game this season on average. LeBron James averages 35 minutes a game on average. Joker averages 35 minutes a game on average. That means that there's some nights that he's playing 38, 39 minutes. The best players in the game, they're playing. Yeah. And the idea of upping guys' minutes, especially when the playoff starts, that's part of it. That's why you do what you do in the offseason. That's why you eat the way you do. That's why you train the way you do, because you're prepared to play these many minutes. I think that we live in a space now where guys want to do more, guys want to do less, and it kind of like what happened with Curry. I mean, I think the year Curry won the league MVP, I want to say 16. I think Curry played like 32 minutes a game. The year that Giannis won the league MVP in 20, I think he averaged like 33 minutes a game. The best players in the game, however, are playing heavy minutes. That's just part of being the best player in the game. You're not going to play rotation minutes. You're not going to play a little bit of minutes. You're going to play a lot of minutes, and that's going to increase once the playoffs start because that's the demand on you. So I'm not going to these guys aren't going to shy away from having to play heavy minutes. Kyrie Irving isn't looking at Jason Kidd going, damn, yo, all right, now I got to play 38 minutes tonight. Now I got to play 40 minutes. Kyrie is like, unless I'm tired, don't take me out.
Yeah, and obviously it kind of sucks because we only got to see the Kyrie and AD thing for literally a half. And it was fire.
It was.
it was heat. So we're going to have to wait all the way till next season. But speaking of next season, the Dallas Mavericks, they made an announcement about something that they're going to do next season. And this was prior to Kyrie's injury.
Right.
The Mavericks said that the season tickets will go up by an average of 8.6% next season due to ongoing investments in the team and fan engagements. Thoughts on this?
Price is doing business. Inflation.
That's it.
We're gonna find out who really down with the Mavs and who not.
We found out who is. And we found it out quickly.
Yeah, screw the Mavs for sure.
We're gonna find out who down with who not.
You know what they say, man. You got to pay to play, man.
I mean, they're not paying to play. They let Luka go. So the Mavs, I don't know. The owners, since they
are paying. They just don't want to pay that much.
Life goes on.
They are paying right now. Well, he does have a point, 100%.
They literally let Luka go because they said they didn't want to pay him.
No,
that's not an investment back into the community, the people. You know what I'm saying? The fan experience, like they're doing. That's what that 8% is going to, right? The fan
they wanted Luka. Luka was the fan experience. Now there is no fan experience. What is it? Klay Thompson shooting contested threes?
I mean, they wanted to pay Luka.
Well, I'm saying
they just
next
didn't
year,
pay him that
Ron.
much. That's all. I think that's what that was. They couldn't see $350 million over the next 5 or 6 years for Luka. Now, if that price had came down, which it wasn't, as we all know, Luka was not taking less than the max. If that price would have come down, I think that they would have been. It would have been more realistic to pay him, but they just didn't see long term. I mean, Ron, you might like this, but you don't like it for $60. You might like it for $30. You might even like it for $40. You just don't like it for $60. You still like it though. That doesn't mean you don't want to pay. You just don't like it at that price. And I think that the Dallas Mavericks, they still loved Luka and they wanted Luka. I don't think they wanted him at $350. That was just too steep. Just like Pat Riley is hoping that Tyler Hero does not make the All-Pro team because he is not trying to hit paying Tyler Hero no $350 million. Hell no, he ain't trying to hear that. No, he ain't trying to hear that. He is not trying to hear that. No, he's not.
I hear you, Chill. I'm gonna say it from my perspective as a fan. One of the worst things that you can have as an owner is an owner that cares about his dollar more than he cares about the success of the team. And I don't know from every outside noise, because I don't know these people, but from the statements that the owner said, from his actions, and from this recent thing with the ticket stuff, even though he knows the Mavs fans are actively pissed. Matter of fact, you had Mavs fan in the stadium saying fire Nico Harrison, and they're escorting them out.
Yeah, but they paid those tickets to say it though. They paid for the tickets so they could say that. So
and then they're rising the tickets on those fans.
I really just think it's bad timing.
Make sure we mention that part.
It seems like, hey man, we're gonna milk these guys as much as we can, man. I don't know, man.
Hey, Chill. What in Straight Outta Compton when it was tearing up the CD?
I was just about to say that.
They bought them up.
They bought them shit. So hey,
yeah, but here's the thing though. I'm like, when your chick mad, it's not when you ask, yo, can I go kick it with the fellas tonight? Can I go kick it with the fellas this weekend? Can I? You wait until she's in a lighter mood. You wait until she's happy. Crazy. Sometimes you gotta pick and choose your moments. Sometimes I just think this might not have been. Maybe they could have did it the season after this.
Well, first of all, remember who we dealing with. We're dealing with the fans, which is short for fanatic. And what are fanatics? Fanatics are emotional. And fanatics aren't thinking about the business aspect of basketball. Nah, they thinking about Luka.
Chill. What is your chick?
Right.
Emotional.
So 100%.
She's not thinking about your well-being. She's thinking about hers. I'm saying that's the same thing with fans.
Right. But you have to I feel like you have to deal with fans in a different way when it comes to the business. So if your chick is emotional, like you said, Ron, all right, so the last thing I'm gonna come in there doing is pointing my finger in your face. Go sit your ass down and be the hell quiet and let me handle this. That's the last thing I want to do. And the reason why is because it's gonna turn into something else. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm gonna handle this. I know that how you feel right now. You ain't feeling me, but this is gonna work out. And I just need you to trust me on this. If you still want to yap, keep yapping. But just so you know, this is gonna work out. You either get in or get out. Which one is it? And those of you who getting out, don't come back when this thing is working like I said it was going to work.
Hey,
don't come back.
At least as a boyfriend, you have some cachet, you have a relationship, there's that emotional bond. These dudes just came in and slapped all these fans in the faces and said, we're doing it this way. So I don't know. It's harder to buy considering how they.
What do you think this came from, though, Rodell? I mean, like they didn't. I don't think that they moved off of Luka just off the strength of moving off of Luka. There was some things that happened over the course of time that Luka was there, not just this season, but over the course of time where Nico Harrison and that management decided it's probably best that we go in a different direction. And they didn't just do this overnight and say, all right, yo, Luka fat, Luka drinking, he sucked, which he doesn't. Let's make sure we clear about that. Okay, we're moving off of Luka. Yeah. It was almost like they were saying that on his way out the door. Luka smoking hookah and he drinking and like, yo.
Yeah, but there's a difference between saying somebody has bad habits and saying that they suck. I don't think anybody was saying that.
Just let the dude go out. Just let the dude walk. That's all I'm asking. Like we don't have to do none of that other stuff. That's not necessary. I don't think that's necessary at all.
Chill, personally, I think that the owners, Luka was not the stereotypical superstar they thought like certain stars were, like Michael Jordan. That's why they said Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq. He wasn't like that.
Right.
And then the biggest reason is they didn't want to pay him. They were being cheap. They didn't want to pay him the money he deserved. So, one, having a false expectation of what a superstar is, and then not wanting to pay a guy money he deserved. So, I don't think there's a good reason why they got off of Luka. I think it was just ignorance, personally.
Well,
But
you know what, fellas?
You said a minute ago though about just real quick about them choosing what you say their dollars over fans' happiness or something.
Yeah, I said like, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, of course you choose your money over the fans' happiness. Like,
Well, the fans are the ones that give you the money.
they're gonna keep giving the money, Ron. They're not gonna come to games because you charge 8% more. They're gonna sell out. They're gonna sell out
more money.
I see when they start.
How much more money can you give me? You bought every seat in here. What, I don't got no more seats to sell.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think they're gonna be buying out every.
What they gonna build a bigger arena? Like, what you mean? If the seats are sold and we charge 8% more, and you're gonna keep coming to the games.
So what if
whether you're hate watching or no matter they're gonna be sold. No matter why you're gonna be here, whether you're here to hate watch or you're here to love watch, as long as you pay for these tickets, I don't care. You could come and fire Nico. I don't care. You pay for it. That's just the business side of it. Now, the other way, I see 100%. I agree with y'all 100% on that. But I'm just talking about what he said as far as the money side goes. What we here for? I'm here to make money. I'm not here so y'all love me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Nico, I'm just speaking like if I was the GM, like in Nico's shoes or the owner's shoes. I don't care how you feel about me. Buy these tickets, come watch basketball, go home and live your life. We up.
All right,
so be clear, Luka, real quick, Ron. So be clear, Luka missed like from Christmas. So he was out almost 2 months. And don't forget, like earlier in the season where he was out, he missed a bunch of games. The Mavericks were 7th this year in attendance. That's without Luka. That's with Luka in and out of the lineup like he was. They were in the top 10 in the league in attendance.
Well, Dallas Mavericks fans, I know that the price is going to spike on you guys next year, but I know just the thing to get some extra money in your pockets so y'all can take care of them tickets. If y'all need that extra 8%, don't even sweat it. Download the PrizePicks app. Here you can run your game, control your game, and win your game and get that extra 8%. And the beautiful thing about it is when you play $5, you get $50 back instantly in promo funds, but only when you use promo code PANEL. So, Mavericks friends, like I said, download the app, play $5, get $50 back, use promo code PANEL. Don't forget that, Mavericks fans. And then you can choose 2 or more players in the sport that you like. You're a Mavericks fan, so you're probably going to choose basketball, and you're probably not going to choose Luka or anybody on the Lakers, and there's nobody left on the Mavericks to choose. So you'll find somebody on the other 28 teams, 2 or more players, and then you choose more or less on their player projections. And just like that, you'll have the money to buy season tickets next year if you still want them. But we're going to show you guys how it's done right here, right now. Y'all, we were sold last night by a fraud, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's go ahead and
please talk about it, Ron.
Talk about Giannis being a fraud.
Who we sold on last night, Ron?
The fraud was Mars.
Of course.
Remember, I was finna get Zion, and Mars was like, "Oh,
Mm.
don't get Zion. This, and this."
Oh,
I told
so
y'all Zion
we're
was
just
gonna go
lying.
crazy.
We're just lying.
It wasn't you.
So
Somebody
straighten
told
them
me
out,
not-
Mars.
I
So straighten them out, Mars.
told me not to
told
get
you
Zion.
to take Zion's demon points, and you didn't. And Zion's demon points would have hit.
Who told? Was that Jordan?
And also, for the record,
Was that
I
Jordan?
took Jalen Green's less, and I also hit. So I hit yesterday. I hit. Don't try to
Who
blame
told me not to take Zion yesterday? Was that Jordan?
Oh, no, it wasn't me.
I'm finna stop listening to y'all. As a matter of fact, scroll down, Ox.
Yeah, hold on a second. I got you.
I had the money right there in our hands.
Where am I scrolling down to, Ron? What do we need to do?
Wait. Chris Middleton. Give me the more on that.
The threes?
Easy.
Okay.
The Wizards, Jazz. I can assure you, I'm not watching that game.
I'm gonna
That's
watch
gonna be
2
a
threes.
great
And I'm gonna
game.
get
Do you
up
want
outta here.
anything to do with that, Mars? Do you want anything to do with that game, Mars?
I will not be watching that game.
What you got, Chill?
Can I take a look at that Lakers Detroit game? I want to see Jalen Duren's rebound line going up against Zubac tonight. Mm-hmm.
The Clippers got to win after what they did last night.
Oh, they definitely sold.
Shout out to KD.
At least Zubac ain't sell.
Jalen Duren, I'm looking at 15 points.
11
and I'm gonna take the more on that. I think I get more than 12 rebounds out of him tonight. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mars, you want to go? You ready?
Can I see what's going on in the Portland-Boston game?
Boston or Portland specifically?
Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything for players who I'm trying to see? Damn, get Anthony Simons off my screen. Nah, we good on Denny. Where's Demon Tomani?
I'll take the 8.5 points on Klingen. You don't like them 8.5 points on Klingen?
Right here. I like them steals on Tomani Kamara, wherever they may be.
With Al Horford down there.
Where's the
steals?
Where's them rips for two?
It's a
0.5. Oh, damn.
Come on, Mars, take the easy. Mars, sometimes you gotta take the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the one steal for Tomani Kamara. Yeah. Look how much I increase our chances by. It's going to go from, 60 to 65.
75.
Ooh. You're welcome, guys.
Okay, real quick. Let me go ahead.
The last time we took a goblin, we won. Just going to put it that way.
You call that winning?
A win is
yeah,
a win.
I don't. I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take the more on these 25.5 points and rebounds from J-Val tonight against the Denver Nuggets.
Oh yeah, he's starting now.
Yo, and then Big Ox, just one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you type in the Charlotte Hornets?
What? All right, bro. I'm about to put these.
Type in the Hornets, so we can actually get some earnings. Keep going down. Keep going. No, go past LaMelo.
Are you sure?
Keep going.
Past LaMelo?
Go.
Right.
Nah, not Mark. Not Miles. Actually, you can scroll a little quicker.
Okay. Let's see. That's the end of the line. Nick
Smith. That's exactly what I'm looking for. What's his demons?
Demon for what? Rebounds?
You know what?
3.5. But you
all right, look. We just go Nick Smith points and rebounds.
Nick
Smith points and rebounds.
That's all you're doing.
Nick Smith points and rebounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Bang, we got to
keep track of Nick Smith.
We got the ultimate role player contest for you guys right here. Go ahead, scroll in, Ox.
Tomani Kamara, Demon, just from my good like that.
Chris Middleton. We need him to make 2 threes tonight. We're taking the more on that. Jalen Duren, 11.5 rebounds. We're choosing him to go more. Kumani Tamara. We just need 1 steal from you, buddy. That's the goblin pick. Jonas Valanciunas, 25.5 points and rebounds. We going more than that. And Nick Smith Jr., 14.5 points and rebounds. We taking the more on that. Yes, baby. 20 to 180. I could dig it.
What am I getting? What am I getting from Valanciunas? So that's what? 15 and 10? 20, 13,
11, 16
15.
and 10.
So bonus is out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get that?
Yeah, you can get that.
All right. We're gonna find out.
Hey Ron.
What's up?
Usually I don't do this, you know what I'm saying? Usually I don't read the chat usually.
But to the dude in the chat?
But to the dude in the chat, Hanzo, who says that I think that all team owners have to have a reason. I don't necessarily think that. But what I do think is that you don't have to understand what the boss is doing. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do, that's just what they're doing. You don't got to understand it. That's all. to Hanzo.
All right, y'all. We got a couple super chats, so let's go ahead and dive into these, and then we got to talk about some of the games that happened last night. The first one is from Jordan. He sent through a members chat and said, "Where's the highest Kyrie has ever peaked in the league? What's peak Kyrie?"
Kyrie's been nice so many times.
I mean, he was in the MVP conversation in 2018.
What about
He actually was. I didn't even make that up. He was before. He wasn't MVP.
What about 22 Irv? Wasn't he 50, 40, 90 that year in Brooklyn? The year he got hurt and they lost to Milwaukee.
That's 2021.
21, that's what I'm thinking about. Not 22. He was awesome then.
Yeah, I think the best Kyrie was probably 2021.
I'm thinking either that one. 16 Irv was incredible. Playing off of James. James actually took less shots than him. He was playing with a confidence that I don't think he ever had. Playing with James at that point, he was healthy. He was getting downhill with the best of them, if not the best, with the exception of James and James Harden. His jump shot was on time. His handle was super crisp. I think 16 Irv might have been the best Irv.
Yeah, that's the Kyrie I'm gonna have to go with.
Yeah,
I think
What he
he's
did in the
better,
playoffs
second
that year,
It was
that was-
insane.
I gotta go with that one.
Shout out to Kyrie.
Facts.
All right, another super chat from K Spiffy. K said, "In your honest opinion, what should the Spurs do going forward in the future? We have too many guards, and our 1 through 4 is small. Would you trade for sale, and which free agents should they acquire?"
This is all contingent on Wemby being out the lineup. I want you to focus on Wemby being in the lineup. That's what you have to focus on. Stop focusing on the whole guard thing. This thing is contingent on Wemby being healthy, which I think he's going to be. If Wemby's healthy, he makes up for a lot of the other stuff going on. I don't know how much longer you hold on to Sochan. I think you can upgrade at that dirty work position. I think you can get something better than him. Even though I like Sochan, I'm good on the long ball. Sochan, I'm straight on that dude. With that being said, I'm straight with Castle. Probably move off of Chris Paul at the end of the season. I'm not buying the whole, Dylan Harper thing. I don't think you're gonna get the number 2 pick in the draft. I doubt that very seriously. But you could I feel like you could upgrade at the backup lead guard spot. I think that's Tyus Jones. Because he's a backup lead guard. That's who he is. He's not a starting lead guard. He's a backup lead guard. And I think you can upgrade at that position and get him in there.
Yo, King, what you think the Spurs should do? If you're the Spurs GM, how are you looking at things right now? What you looking to do?
I would say keep losing. Same thing with the Mavericks. Keep losing. Try to get as high as a pick you can, and just build through the draft.
Can you imagine the Dallas Mavericks getting the number 1 pick in the draft?
Bro.
And bagging Cooper Flag. Like they end up missing the playoffs.
Chill, that would be crazy.
They get
Chill, that would be crazy.
Now, we just saw. I know it's an anomaly. I know what happened last
year. Would Nico Harrison take Cooper Flag?
He's not that ridiculous, Moss. Knock it off, okay? Knock off the nonsense. He's not.
I think that's a valid question to ask.
I don't know. There's rumors that he took a couple shots at a frat party last month. So.
Oh yeah, he's cooked.
Watch out, a 19-year-old taking shots. He was on the college.
He was on the keg at Duke.
Yeah, there's a rumor he hit the keg once or twice at a frat party. So
watch out.
Yeah, he out there partying with the crazies.
He's got a problem. we might not be able to handle this. He's got a problem. So watch out. You might want to stay away from that.
He doesn't have the work ethic, obviously. He's just not him.
Oh man,
what are you even doing at a party? What are you doing at a frat party? Matter of fact, he's not only is he not the number 1 consensus pick, he's not a top 10 pick. Let me stop, but it's end up getting clipped, and y'all think that I'm crazy.
They got their picks this coming up draft, right?
Yep.
This year, yeah.
This year,
they do. Okay, yeah. So
Cooper Flag to the Mavs. You heard it here first.
that would be insane.
That'd be insane.
That'd be lucky.
Watch how fast, if that hypothetically, of course, I don't think it's gonna happen, but hypothetically, if it did happen, watch how fast those fans switch back.
Yep.
Nico!
It's gonna be like that Heat Spurs
Nico, we love
NBA Finals
you.
game where everybody ran out the stadium and then came back in when Ray Allen hit that shot.
That's
how it's
exactly
gonna
what
be.
happened. And Mars,
Right.
for all intents and purposes,
Yeah.
Mars, understand that there are some. Just so you know, when you're the general manager or the president, even though you do have the final say, there are some people that are in your ear, and there's going to be people in that boardroom looking at Nico going, if you don't take this kid, we will flip this table over and we will flip it over on you.
He doesn't have a choice.
Maybe they should have done that when it came down to trading Luka Doncic. I don't know.
If you pass
they were in cahoots with that though, Morris. They were in cahoots.
Remember, yes, they were 100% in cahoots with that. They end up with the number 1 overall pick, and they get Cooper flag. Everybody comes back. Everybody.
They're not getting Cooper flag though, y'all.
They're not. I'm not even arguing that. They're not. Even though Atlanta, we saw what Atlanta did. They just missed the playoffs, and they end up with the number 1 overall pick. So,
but Cooper will. To be unfortunately, I wouldn't want Cooper on the Mavs because he will be immediately compared to Luka. And that's just unfair to him.
That's unfair.
So I would not want him to the Mavs.
You can compare him to Luka, and he doesn't have to be Luka for them to be good. Like he can still be a hell of a player. And if he's nothing like Luka, he plays defense. They're not even the same type of player. So it's like if they were to get Cooper, I think I hear what you're saying though, because people would be like, oh, we lost him, now we got Cooper. So I get what you're saying, but still, just because they got crazy expectations, don't matter. I'm still balling. So who cares? All I'm saying is get the outside noise out of here.
Yo, well, the thing about it is, even if the Mavericks were to enter complete tank mode, they got a ways to go. Because as of right now, they don't even have a shot at getting the number 1 overall pick. We talked about this briefly yesterday, but here go the odds right now just to get the number 1 pick. This is what we're looking at, y'all. Is there anything that's alarming up here?
That Philly have a real shot of not having that pick.
Yeah.
It's top 7
I'll
protected,
be so
right?
happy about that.
Top 6.
The top 6.
Top 6 protected.
So right now they wouldn't have that pick.
That is
And who would have it again?
Okay.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
bro. Okay, nah, yeah.
Yeah, Philly gonna have to go deep into the tank right now.
Yeah, they are.
They have to get worse.
They better bench Quentin Grimes because he's going crazy over there. So
Man,
who would have thought, man? Deuce McBride good at basketball. Who would have thought?
Out of all these teams, I want the Bulls to get Cooper flag personally.
Really?
I would like to see
I like
the Pelicans.
Yeah, Pelicans.
The Pelicans are interesting to me.
I'm
the
with
Spurs
the
for
Bulls.
obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
Hell,
How well do you think Zion and Cooper will work together?
Amazingly well. Fantastically well.
Did y'all see what I seen last night?
I mean, you talking about the highlight plays from Zion or just the general play?
No, everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I told you to take the demon. But, you know.
You need to listen to Mars next time around. You really saw this last night.
Zion is him. I don't watch college basketball, but at this point it's very obvious. Put the ball in Zion's hands. So I'm curious to see what would happen when Cooper and Zion, who are players who I think, from what I understand from Cooper, will need his ball in his hands as well. How that will work.
Oh, I think Cooper does not need the ball at all. This is like the first time he's ever really had the ball. If we're being honest, like if you watch Cooper's development. This is like the first time a team's like giving him like the whole handle of the offense, and he's handling it better than I think a lot of like scouts thought he would. But he doesn't need the ball at all to be effective. He's been an off-ball player for most of his life, so I think he'll be fine. And I think Zion can definitely play without the ball. And yeah, Cooper's special. If I'm being honest, I just think Cooper's special. So.
As you can see right here on the screen, Cooper is in elite company. Speaking of Zion and Anthony Davis, we talked about them both this episode. Cooper ranks amongst them with the highest freshman box plus minus.
Oh my God.
A great analytic, right? Zion is first since the 2002-03 season when it started being tracked. Zion had a plus 20.1 in his 1 year at Duke. Anthony Davis had a plus 17.2 in his 1 year with Kentucky, and Cooper in his 1 year at Duke has a plus 17.
Nice.
Special category. Shout out Cooper.
I wonder what Michael Beasley's book plus minus was.
Probably not a 117.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. That's all I know.
That good.
Cooper's nice.
All right, y'all. Moving along with these super chats. My man Kent Lipscomb Jungler said Tim Duncan and Yu Hakusho. Top 5. Hashtag
anime?
Castle
Is that an
Rookie of the
anime?
Year.
It's an anime, yeah.
No, man, I'm locked in.
Why is he? What does Hakusho have to do with him? Though?
Correlation.
I think he just wanted to
I don't
show
know.
love.
He's just praising both.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to show love to
yeah.
anime.
Is
That's
he
what's
top
up.
5? Is Yu top 5?
As
Riddell?
an anime? Nah.
Yeah. Nah.
Nah,
Shout out Kid though. Shout out.
Is he top 10?
Is he in the conversation?
No.
It
It is good. Though. It's like a cult classic type show. So like everybody, for a lot of people, know what it is.
Damn, Ken, he's saying your boy mid. But shout out Yu.
Never know the conversation is crazy.
You.
Isaiah Evans said playing AD 20 minutes in his first game back. AD wasn't even supposed to come back, let alone play that much in his first game. And Kyrie led the league in minutes since the trade. Ron cooking.
Had this in the $20 super chat to try to convince us that Ron was cooking.
He didn't try to convince y'all. He made a statement. The statement was true.
No doubt.
Ron was cooking. I'm gonna be honest. He was doing his thing.
Marty McFly also became a YouTube member today. Shout out to Marty McFly. Then we got another super chat from the Baller Shot Caller, 1999. He said, I don't understand why people say we would have been worse re-signing Luka. We were a dangerous team with great backup ball handlers and bigs. We would have won the Western Conference Finals again. It's crazy how things changed.
How would they have been worse? I mean, if Luka would have been healthy, if Luka would have been healthy the whole season, I mean, with the defense that they had, with Lively getting better than what he was last season, I don't think that they would have been worse than what they already were. I mean, no, they would have actually been better. And I think that they would have been more determined because they already was in the NBA championship last year to get back to the NBA championship. So, no, I don't think that they would have been. I don't know where you get the logic that they would have been worse.
I think the super chat is saying that some people are saying that the current AD Mavs are better, and the Luka would have been worse than this current AD Kyrie Mavs if they were healthy.
Well, I think they're different, and there's, in the words of my man Ox, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and not everybody wins the same way. And I think that with this Dallas Maverick team, the way it's constructed, they can win that way. Which you got it when you got a legit big who's elite on the defensive end, you got an elite rim protector in Lively, you got a dirty work guy in Gafford, you got Kyrie Irving, you got a long ball shooter in Klay Thompson, you got another grit and grind dirty work guy in Najee Marshall. And I also think that Max Christie is a lot better defender than what I thought he was. I love everything about him as a defender. And I think that this team is built. I feel like this team is built on that. And that is a recipe for winning because you also got a really good scorer in Anthony Davis, who's a defender. He's a defender who can score, but he's a damn good scorer in pick and pop, in pick and dive, and in transition also. You got long ball shooters and you got a fantastic one-on-one player in Kyrie Irving coupled with the defense that they have and a stretch four like PJ Washington. I think this team was built to win games, and not just win games. They were built for the playoffs, to go deep into the playoffs. So I just think that the recipe that they had was good enough for them to win differently, but to win.
All right, we got a $50 super chat from SMN R&DM. My bad. I don't mean to disrespect your currency. 50 pounds from SMN R&DM. He said, I do blame Nico. He said, physio friend told me, don't underestimate fatigued muscles' role in injuries. First, wear and tear, and second, fatigued muscles relax involuntarily. Not a doctor, just a messenger. 33-year-old with the injury record, averaging the most minutes per game, is stupid.
Interesting. Is Irv 33? I think he's still 32.
He turns 33, but last I was aware, I don't think Nico Harrison sets the rotations.
He does not. He has nothing to do with how much guys are playing. He has nothing to do with Anthony Davis straining his adductor muscle. He had nothing to do with Derek Lively's foot being what happened to his foot. He had nothing to do with Daniel Gafford banging knees, with whom he banged knees with. He had nothing to do with any of that. And he has nothing to do with Jason Kidd's rotations. He has nothing to do with Jason Kidd's playbook. He has nothing to do with that. But if Luka was there, none of this would have happened. It could have happened with Luka being there. In fact, Lively got hurt when Luka was there. That happened when he was there. So
he's going to get blamed for everything.
Yes, he is.
Not for sure. He's the poster child. Do you think at the rotations? I'm with you. It's Jason Kidd. Do you think he had any say at all in bringing AD back sooner than expected? Or
I think
wanting
that he
AD to
consulted.
play sooner than
I
expected?
think he consulted with AD. I do. I think he talked to AD. How you feeling? Because a lot of times with these guys, they ask them, "Yo, how you feeling? Are you ready to go? Can you go?" And I think the pressure of him getting traded for Luka, I do think that he wanted to be out there to show why they traded for him.
Oh no, I'm not gonna project that. I have no way of knowing.
Valid.
All right, y'all. Well, in the meantime, we're going to transition into the games from last night, and we are going to start with the most notable game from last night and what happened in that game. First off, let's go ahead and give the king his flowers. Not you, King, but
Oh, not me. Damn.
I mean, we could give you your flowers, but first, let's give King James his flowers.
That's
He
the
hit
most
50K.
notable game. Oh, okay.
That's the most
sorry,
notable thing that happened last night.
Oh,
Right, 50K?
I thought it was the Suns comeback. I didn't know that's where it was going. But
The
I
Suns
don't know
comeback's
if you
more
know the
notable than
things
50K?
yeah, I
They
thought
was
it was
down
a more
19 in
notable
the
game.
fourth.
I thought it was a more notable game than a blowout. But like you bring up the 50K stuff, like I didn't think about that. So
It was
like,
down
you go ahead.
19 in the fourth, and they came back and
I'm
won.
not trying to derail the conversation. I just thought the most notable game was.
If y'all want to talk about the Suns, we could talk about that. I just
No, because we're going to talk about the Lakers anyway.
Chill.
So we can
I
start.
thought
We can
you
start
would
with the
be
Lakers.
excited to talk about 50K. That's not a big deal.
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
No,
that's
for sure a big deal.
100% a big deal. Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
it's a
I
big
didn't
deal.
know that.
I gotta,
I just forgot about it. Like I'm not saying you're wrong. I just
gotta stop talking about. I gotta stop talking about James's age, and when he retires, then I'll start talking about him in terms of his age. Until he retires, I gotta start talking. I gotta continue to talk about him like he's LeBron James. I have to talk about him like that. I can't. He's too old. He can't do this. He can't do that. I can't keep doing that. And the reason why is because he just keeps defying the odds. He keeps doing everything that I said he can't do because he's old. He's still doing it. Even though 2 months ago, everybody was talking about he's washed and he doesn't have it anymore. He gets this young guy in Luka, and I've said this to you guys in the past, he reminds me of that old dude that's messing around with a young chick. He got a little bit more bounce in him. He's got a lot more energy. He's flying around a little bit more, right? He's staying up a little bit later. That's what he looked like. The defense looks different. The ball handling looks different. The shot looks different. And I think we got to stop with the spacing thing. James can shoot the basketball. James has proven he could shoot the basketball. I think he's shooting his highest long ball percentage of his career this season. So I think we got to stop with the logic that, the spacing between him and Luka and him having to play off the ball. Well, I think this season he's played off the ball the most in his career, with the exception of 16 when he played with Kyrie Irving. I think this is the most he's played off the ball. On top of that, Luka looks like Luka is getting back just into form. Like, all right, I know how to play basketball. Let me just get back to what I was doing. And to Mars's point, I'm watching New Orleans, and I didn't watch much of that game, but I did watch some of that game. And New Orleans is the best, worst team to watch. They're just fun to watch. They are. They're a fun team to watch. Yes, they are. Zion, for all intents and purposes, I know how you feel about him, Ox. He looks fantastic. He looks great. That whole him in shape thing, he looks great. He does.
Fantastic ain't the word.
He's
He
one of the
looks
best.
great.
He's one of the
Oh
best
my
players
God.
in the league. He's one of the best players in the league.
100% he is.
I can understand health concerns and guys don't want to value him in terms of how can you win with Zion because he's injured all the time. I get it, but when he's out on the floor, he's one of the best players in the NBA. He's amazing.
I just seen him get to the. I saw him get to the rim yesterday, and I'm thinking, how do you slow this down when he's got a full head of steam? You know it's coming, so it's like you back off of him, and then he attacks you. If you crowd him, he's just gonna blow your doors off.
Yep.
And in transition, we know he's going to his strong hand, which is the left hand. We know that for a fact, but we still can't do anything with it. And the dude jumps this high. It's like seeing a bee with them little tiny wings on the back. Like, how's this bee flying? It just doesn't look. He shouldn't be flying. Meanwhile, this dude is throwing dudes through the bucket. He's fantastic. He's great.
And he's having the best defensive year of his career, which is nice.
Mm.
So like he hasn't been a good defender in his career. Even this year, I wouldn't say he's been great, but like he's definitely having the best defensive year of his career, which helps. Excellent playmaker. Zion, like I don't do lists, but I'm fairly confident. I don't think I could name 15 players better than Zion.
Mars, I was going to ask you that. With what you've seen with Zion, let's say you got over the last, I don't know, let's say the last month. If you got 5 years of this Zion, how we talking about Zion in the league today?
That's Damn. I mean, it depends what New Orleans could put around him, how people talk about him, but we're talking about him like one of the best players in the NBA, rightfully so.
Is he a top 10 player in the league?
I mean, that would depend.
Again, Mars.
You assume Steph, Bron, and KD finally start falling off,
right? Or maybe
take
he's just
Kawhi
playing
out
better.
and Embiid. But if he starts playing better, yeah. But right now, I feel like he's probably top 15. I don't have a list, so like maybe he's 18, but I feel he's probably top 15. With still room to grow. I don't want to say the sky is the limit, but like it feels like the sky is the limit. Like
today,
he's 24,
March 5th,
24, yeah,
March 5th, 2025. So, Joker, Giannis, Tatum, Luka, SGA, James, KD, Anthony Davis, Wemby, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, you lost me.
Wait.
He lost me. Okay,
Donovan Mitchell not better than Zion?
I don't think so.
Okay, Anthony Edwards.
You lost me.
Ant's not better than Zion?
Nah.
Jalen Brunson.
You lost me.
Brunson is better than Zion.
You lost me.
Cat.
Definitely no.
Ooh. This
you haven't said Steph.
I was like, did you say
I didn't say Curry? I'm sorry. I thought I said Curry earlier. So Curry, sure.
So that's 10.
Okay, so that's 10. So after Curry, so again, Brunson, you don't like him. You don't like Anthony Edwards.
Brunson, I would consider.
Kawhi?
Not this Kawhi.
Okay.
I would
the
take
Kawhi
Zion.
from last year. Yeah, he better, but this
he's
Kawhi,
better than him.
Same reason why I'm Embiid. I can't say anymore. It's over.
I didn't say him. I didn't even say Embiid because he was injured.
Even though fully healthy Embiid is way above these conversations, but he just doesn't exist. So I can't.
So guys like again, Jalen Brunson.
Did you say
Anthony
Wemby?
Edwards.
Yeah,
I said Wemby.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jalen Brunson. Let's see.
Cade?
Book.
Ooh.
Zion's better than Cade.
Cade Cunningham.
Zion's better than Trey.
Sabonis.
Evan Mobley?
Zion's better than Evan Mobley.
Chet?
Zion's better than Chet.
So he's the 11th best player in the league.
Well, I don't know. These are the names you're giving me.
I'm giving you names. I'm giving you names.
More so, I
Halliburton.
know who you are. He's not going to say Halliburton. If he didn't say any of those other guys, so as of right now, it's looking like you would have him at 11 if you did 11.
Let me go through the league.
It sounds like he might have him like 11.
So
Devin Booker?
Zion's better than D-Book. So
okay, he got to be 11.
These are the names. Like, there's names that I think are definitively better than Zion.
Is he more talented than him, or is he
better than him? So like,
he's better than Devin Booker.
I think the 10 names you gave me, like, I don't really think Zion is there. And then everyone else, like Jalen Brunson, I would have he's in the conversation. Jalen Brunson in the conversation with Zion. Like, I would have that conversation. I could make both sides of the argument. I think I can make both sides of the argument. Evan Mobley, I think I could make both sides of the argument.
I can make both. I can make the Evan Mobley argument that he's better than Zion.
Yeah, and I would definitely listen to that argument. So when I was saying no to those guys, it wasn't like, oh yeah, it's not even close, not even close. There's some guys who I think it's not even close. Some of them guys, I was like, yeah, I'm taking Zion. But some of those guys, like, he's in that group where I could put him at the bottom of that group if I look at him more pessimistically, which is how he could fall out of that top 15-ish range. But
so now, I'm taking so Mars, we taking guys like Paolo's out.
Oh, respectful.
So France is out. Right, so Paolo is out, France is out, Bam is out, right? Yeah, Scotty Barnes is out.
Yes.
These are the people. Ja's out. Jaren Jackson is out.
Jaren Jackson?
Jaren Jackson would be in that group of Evan Mobley and them where he's in the conversation.
Right. So Sengun is out.
He was never in.
So no Sengun, no Jalen Green. So Jalen Green is out. Jalen Green has been fantastic. You guys.
Yeah, he wasn't good last night, but generally
speaking, you said he's better than Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, the Ant is heat, Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said he's better than Donovan Mitchell too, and Devin Booker.
That was surprising.
I said he's better than all of the shooting guards. So.
Mars, make the argument for him being better than being better than Donovan Mitchell.
I think he's better offensively than Donovan Mitchell. I think his relentless rim pressure, the fact that you can't stop him driving, the fact that he can get the most valuable shot in the game at a rate that no one can really compare to outside of Giannis is extremely valuable. Then you factor in the fact that he draws fouls at an elite clip. He's one of the best He's got one of the quickest first steps in the NBA, uber athletic, can play on and off the ball with his ability in the dunker spot, an excellent playmaker, draws double teams at a rate that I don't think anyone really matches in the NBA. His gravity just downhill and the way teams load up to stop him on drives. Like even last night, you saw the Lakers' plan was just have Jackson Hayes loaded all the way over on Zion's drives, every single one. Jackson Hayes is ignoring any responsibilities behind him in the dunker spot because you need to have someone on Zion on the strong side to stop Zion from driving. And he's still able to get downhill and finish over the top of anyone whenever he wants because of how powerful and strong he is. I just think that downhill threat and that constant pressure is probably more valuable than the versatility of a Donovan Mitchell, just because of how potent it is with Zion. And then you add in the extra defensive improvement from Zion with the fact that he's able to provide rim protection, the fact that he is able to play in the passing lanes, make plays on the ball, and he's more engaged on the ball defensively as well. I think I don't know how I would paint Zion as a defender. Maybe a slight positive, maybe a strong positive, depends on how I feel on the day. So like back in the day, he used to just give back a lot of that value on defense with like effort issues and awareness. But I think a lot of that's improved this year. So I can't really hold, like, I can't use that. That's what I was lower on Zion. And then also I was lower on Zion because I thought, hey, I mean, he's going left every time, just cut off the left hand. Turns out you can't do that. I'm pretty sure every team on the Sky report knows he's going left. You just
That's
can't
at the top of the list. That's at the top of the
so
list.
you can't stop it. So like the only the only issue I really have with Zion is like he's not a great free throw shooter. But like everything else is like he's amazing. He gets to the line, like I said, with the best of them. And his like the quality of looks he's getting at the rim, like for normal humans, they're bad shots at the rim. Like they're not clear looks, they're not open looks, but he just has an excellent touch as well. So I think offensively, I think he's probably better than Donovan Mitchell, and defensively, he's probably more impactful on defense too, just because of his size and rim protection and stuff. So yeah, I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
Do you put a
now
slight,
wait?
Do you put a slight asterisk for Zion when it comes to the playoff translation and the uncertainty? Because when we know the playoffs happen, the game's going to slow down, and they're going to hold the whistle a little bit more, which is
they already hold the whistle on Zion.
But Rondell, I don't even want to talk about.
I mean, if you already are getting fouled 80 times a game and they only call 40 of them, you can't start then calling 20. Like at that point, it's like I'm not about to start taxing Zion because the refs are bad at their jobs. That doesn't make Zion worse as a player. Like they're already fouling him and they're not calling it. Like Zion is still getting to the line at a really good rate.
Yeah.
When half of the time he's getting fouled, they don't call it. They can't just stop calling fouls altogether to be like, oh, well, Zion's not that good because the refs just don't call blatant fouls on him. Like, I can't.
Well, I think he initiates a lot of contact. I think that's the reason why they kind of hold a little bit with him.
And because I mean, it's not a foreign concept that when someone's so much bigger and stronger than people, you have to hit them harder to get foul calls. Same thing that LeBron's gone through a lot. Same thing that Shaq's gone through. When you're that much more physically imposing, even Giannis to a certain degree, when you're that much more physically imposing, it's a bit harder to get that whistle consistently. But I don't think like a guy like Zion, I don't think his whistle is going to go down in the playoffs like how people view like James Harden's whistle, because James Harden's whistle comes from you reach in, I'm going to rip through, I'm going to drag your arms up, I'm going to hook you, all of those tricks to get
gimmicks.
Zion's not doing tricks. Zion is getting hit, whether he's initiating contact, he's getting hit.
Right.
Those fouls don't tend to go away. It's just the little tricky fouls where like you're trying to bait them into contact and stuff. Zion doesn't really do that. So I don't think his free throws will go down in the playoffs. And the only like real taste of playoff basketball we've seen from Zion was that playing game last year. He had 40. Like he was fine.
So
that's not with playoff adjustments and stuff. So there's like maybe teams can do this. And I do think there's ways to slow down Zion. But I don't think I'm already factoring that into my equation of how I evaluate Zion now. And even my theory of how you slow down Zion, it might not even work. Maybe a team does try it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, Zion's a bit more matchup proof than I thought. So the only way that I think this goes bad for Zion is if like either A, he's a lot worse of an offensive player than I think, or B, he just never plays in the playoffs. So everyone can just have that question mark of playoff translation. But for me, I don't really question it. I don't question the playoff translation. That's all.
So Mars, so if I can counter what you're saying, one of the main reasons why a player is better than another player, I think it's because of versatility. So you have brought up Zion's ability to get to the rim. I mean, I've seen Donovan Mitchell put guys on posters bigger than him, put guys on posters, and not only is he dunking at the rim, he's also finishing at the rim at a great rate. But how is he able to do that? Well, he's able to do that because he's got a money mid-range pull-up game, and he's got a really good pull-up game at the long ball line. So because he can stretch the defense and guys can crowd him, guys can crowd him, he can get to the rim with the best of them. And when he doesn't have to go to the rim, he can stop and pop, which makes him an even more viable scorer. So then now how do you deal with Donovan Mitchell in terms of slowing him down? Well, now you double Donovan Mitchell, you shoot gaps where you help off Donovan Mitchell, which makes Donovan Mitchell now a playmaker, which he's been even better at this season than he's been in a while, where he's finding guys like Merrill. He's finding guys like Merrill. He's finding guys like Ty Jerome. He's finding guys like Wade in transition to knock down open shots. He's finding guys like Evan Mobley diving to the rim. I think they got the best pick and dive offense in the league. I think they got the best pick and pop offense in the league. And one of the main reasons why they had that is because of Donovan Mitchell's ability to stretch defenses. I think that Giannis has shown us that if you're not able to knock down a shot consistently, which is what happened with him when they played against Toronto, that we can load up on you and slow you down. When you got a guy like Donovan Mitchell who can knock down mid-ranges, who can knock down a pull-up long ball shot, he's shown you that unless I'm not making shots, I am almost impossible to deal with. So now let's go to the defensive side of the basketball, where he's damn good in the passing lanes and he's damn good off the ball and speeding up the game. On the ball, I think that Donovan Mitchell is a solid on-ball defender. I definitely think he's better than Zion as an on-ball defender. And I think that he gets in the teeth of the defense and he will rebound for you as a smaller guard. I mean, Zion is 6'6", 6'7", and I think that he could be a better rebounder, especially considering the athlete that he is. But when we get into games where we need big rebounds and we need stops and things like that, I'm going to need you to rebound. I'm going to need you to defend. And I think that Donovan Mitchell does more of that than Zion Williamson. I won't test the athleticism because I do think, considering how big Donovan Mitchell is, and not just Donovan Mitchell, I'm sorry, Zion Williams, I won't test the athleticism because I think Zion is a better athlete than Donovan Mitchell, but I think overall Donovan Mitchell is a better player than Zion Williamson.
I think I think there's differences between Zion and Giannis, and I think Giannis without a jump shot, I don't think the problem was Giannis's lack of a jump shot against a team like Toronto. I think it was the lack of the team shooting outside of Giannis, which is they loaded up of guys like Eric Bledsoe, who they just weren't respecting. You put a shooter there, and all of a sudden that wall looks a bit harder to implement. And Giannis's playmaking blindness at times in that series as well, which I don't think Zion has. I actually think Zion is a really good playmaker at this point in his career, which is why it's harder to load up and build a wall, because he can make all the reads against those type of coverages, even in the post where you're sending doubles. He's making skips, he's making laydowns, he's playing with bigs in the dunker spot, which is been the thing with Giannis is you can't put interior bigs next to Giannis because he needs to drive. Zion has played next to interior bigs his whole career. There hasn't been one time in Zion's career he's played next to a stretch big, not one time. And he's made it work. He's finished around the rim. He's got his guys involved. He's playing point Zion at times. So I think he has versatility in the sense of he can play a bunch of different roles for you, even if he's not necessarily shooting the basketball. And I think the biggest level of improvement for Zion has been the fact that he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to be effective. That little in the paint, that floater range, all those touch shots, that stuff is where I think he's really improved. I think he's shooting 56% of floaters this year. If you can... It used to be if Zion doesn't get all the way to the rim, you're somewhat slowing him down. Now Zion only needs to get within 8 feet, 10 feet, and he can still score efficiently. What do you do when the biggest, strongest, fastest man on the court only has to get inside the free throw line to dominate the game? There's only so much you can do. You can't stop him from getting inside the free throw line. So I think he has versatility, just not in the typical sense of 3-level scoring, blah, blah, blah. And I also think versatility is valuable, but only insofar as the shot making is there. And guys like Donovan Mitchell, guys who are perimeter shooters, I mean, you see them go cold, and that's not a knock on them. It's just you have more variance the further out you shoot from. So if you're a guy like Zion who is able to consistently get to where you want on the floor, you're going to have less of those games where your shot isn't falling because respectfully, you're shooting shots from 6 feet. It's why Steph Curry has games where he goes 2 for 14, or James Harden has games where he's going 3 for 11. Because when you're shooting shots from that far, sometimes they just don't go in. Donovan Mitchell has similar problems. And I think Zion is just more, the floor is higher with Zion. And then I factor in how much attention he draws, which I think is really only comparable to a few people in the league. Not Donovan Mitchell. Once again, no disrespect to Donovan Mitchell. It's the playmaking, the gravity, and then just the pure dominance on the interior. I favor Zion.
So
right
if we can rewind a little bit, you're talking about him playing with a stretch big. I understand that at the long ball line is a stretch big, but I'd like to think Valanciunas was respectable as a jump shooter. I don't think that he was. I'm not going to say that he was Brook Lopez. I'm not going to say that he wasn't Brook Lopez.
It says something that's the best example of a stretch.
But he did play with a respectable jump shooter, a guy who can give him some space. It wasn't like he was playing with Rudy Gobert. It wasn't like he was playing with Paul Reed, a guy who didn't give him anything. He did play with a guy who could stretch the defense and was somewhat of a respectable jump shooter, which Valanciunas was, which did give him some help. But with that also being said, Donovan Mitchell's ability when he stops and pops, when he gets defenses off balance, I just think that makes the offense that he plays so much more viable, because I got bigs like Evan Mobley dive into the basket where I can get them the basketball and I can make those reads and I can get Jared Allen. I can get reads and I can get the ball to Jared Allen, dive into the basket. There aren't many guys who can do that on a consistent basis. And I think Donovan Mitchell is one of the best in the league at doing that at the 2-guard spot. On top of that, when I think about what they are offensively, when we get into the meat and potatoes of games, Mars, you just talked about Zion Williamson getting to the rim. One of the main problems with Donovan Mitchell is the fact of him missing shots, like you talked about with Steph Curry going 2 for 14. Well, how often is that? If I got a bunch of bigs and all we are is worried about Zion Williamson getting to the basket and stopping him when we get close in games, I think that I'm going to go with that more. I think I'm going to go with that less than I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell being able, because I've seen him take over games by knocking down mid-range shots, by knocking down pull-up threes, by actually getting to the rim in more of a different manner. I've seen him do that as opposed to a guy who's one-dimensional, who's got a bunch of big guys around him. We can slow that down as opposed to a guy in Donovan Mitchell where he's got so many other things that we can't slow down.
I want to take this time to point out that this is what you're going to see in the PCL. Obviously, we have the PCL champ. Mars, you got the belt? Could you be bothered to go get the belt?
No,
Mars?
he still got the belt.
Mars, thank you, Mars. Let's see the belt. You got the PCL champ. Also, you got Chilltown, who's obviously going to be a heavyweight. Big Ox is going to be there. Oh, and one more person. My man, King.
Yes, sir.
You excited for the PCL?
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Coming soon.
Hey, King, do you know who Dub is?
You said Dub?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know who Dub is? You might want to go in the archives and study his style. That's all I want to say. You might want to go in the archives and study his style. But shout out to Dub.
Tighten up your gloves too, brother.
Okay.
Shout out to Dub. Shout out to Gifted. Shout out to Hayes. Shout out to ZZ on From the Logo. And shout out to the PCL.
Oh, yeah, that belt is nice.
Heavyweight champion of the world.
Put it on your shoulders, Mars. You got to wear it like a champ. Come on.
You have no idea how heavy this belt is. Like it's a chore just to.
Yeah,
it's a chore just to flex on people.
That was my workout for the year. Just going to get this. It was tough.
Yeah, well, shout out to the PCL. March 15th, things will kick off. The first round of 32, will be March 15th, 16th, 18th, and 19th. So it is going to be a fun week that week. I can't wait to see y'all get down. In the meantime, though, speaking of Zion and Donovan Mitchell, shout out to Donovan Mitchell because he was awarded Player of the Month in February. These were his numbers right here. Almost 26 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and the Cleveland Cavaliers went 10-1 over the month.
He's averaging 27. He's averaging 27, 5 and 5 over his last 10 games. He's shooting 38% at the long ball line. I think he's shooting close to 50% from the floor in his last 10 games.
Shout out to Donovan Mitchell.
What I don't like about what's going on with the Cavs is they got to get punched in the face in order to play. Down 22 to the Celtics, down 18 to the Trailblazers, down 15 last night to the Chicago Bulls. Like, oh shit, I'm in a fight. I should probably start fighting. And that's what ends up happening with the Cavs. And I mean, that's not going to fly when you play against, especially when we get to the playoffs. That's not going to fly when you play against great teams in the playoffs.
And also, y'all, we talked about him a bit earlier. He hit 50K. He's turned 40 recently. The Lakers are rolling. They beat the Pelicans last night, but that's not all for 40-year-old LeBron. As if turning 40 in the month of February wasn't enough. As if hitting 50K last night wasn't enough. He's also your Western Conference Player of the Month for February, averaging 29.3 points, 10.5 rebounds, 6.9 assists, and the Lakers went 10-2
What?
over
This
the
fool averaging 30, 11, and 7.
What's going on, Ron?
He the oldest player to win Player of the Month, right?
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
No one's even close.
Man.
I wonder
And
if the
again,
next-
You telling me he's not in the conversation, Morris?
Yeah, he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation.
I want to make sure that I understand you guys. Since we did this not too long ago. So Joker, Giannis, SGA, Jason Tatum. How do we keep James off first team All Pro? If he continues doing what he's doing, how do we keep him off? How do we keep him off that crew?
I think he makes it over Tatum.
I think they both make it. See,
I think both of them make it.
Wait, you said Joker.
See, look at him trying to take Jason Tatum off. See, we don't.
100% he is. So Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum. I think those guys are locks for first team All Pro.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. See. Look, you trying to hate Jason Tatum. You need to take him off. Exactly. You need to take him off. Yeah.
You don't.
I think they both make it.
Okay,
Yeah,
they both make it. All right.
Yeah, I think they
He's
both
a
make it.
first team All Pro, and
So is LeBron solidified right now as the fifth?
He would be he'd probably
should
be
be.
my pick right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Do I
think
keep
he is my
Donovan?
pick.
I know where you at,
How
Mars.
is it him? How is it Donovan Mitchell?
Well, again, we're going off of what James has done recently. Because remember, I don't know if you guys read this, but yesterday was 77 days ago that the Lakers were in 10th place. 77 days later,
and LeBron was
they were in
washed.
12th.
LeBron wasn't playing.
And he
bad.
was washed. He was
No.
over.
This is when
He was over,
He
Ox.
was on
over.
duty.
2 months later. 2 months.
But
2 months
chill,
later.
they're not
2 months
about
later.
when they're handing out the first team award, they're not going to be like, oh, well, on January 15th, the Lakers were the 10th seed.
That's what
Nah,
they-
we can't. No, they're not. No, because if they finish as the second seed,
Yeah.
that is what they finished at.
Well, we ain't even on the. Let's get off the seeders. We just saw SGA and Luka just 2 years ago make first team All Pro and they make the playoffs. So let's
That's
kill that
very
line
true.
out right
Yeah,
now.
so then why
That's
is
a good
Donovan
point.
Mitchell? Why is
That's a
Donovan
good point.
Mitchell
Yeah,
your
but
first
they-
team All NBA member then?
Yeah,
If it's not
you have
about
to,
seeding,
you have to play as good
Because
as
he's
Luka
at,
and SGA.
because he's averaging 25. Because he's averaging 25 a game. He's averaging 25 a game. I think he's the best two guard in the game. He's on a really good team, largely due to him being on that really good team, and he's playing great, just like James is playing great.
Who's playing better?
Yeah, he's
Oh
playing
yeah,
better.
we locked in.
He's playing better.
I think James is playing better now. I do.
There you
And,
go.
and Donovan Mitchell, for all intent, like I said, 27, 5-5 over the last 10 games. But James just does more. James is a better player. So I don't think that we can. I wouldn't argue that. You wouldn't get that argument at me. James has always been the better player, even though I felt like Donovan Mitchell at one point. I mean, I said it last year that Donovan Mitchell had jumped him. I thought he was a top 10 player.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
But James has always been a better player than him. However,
Yeah, but chill. Don't like because y'all trying to convince me that Bron been playing whack all year. And that's
no, we ain't doing that.
I don't believe that
No.
either.
Y'all gotta remember in November. In November,
What happened was the
didn't he have
season
a
started
seven-
in October. The season started in October, and Anthony Davis was going crazy. Remember,
Yeah,
This is-
he
AD was the 2-week MVP to start the season.
Yeah, AD was going
Yeah,
crazy.
and Bron was playing cool. Bron was
Yeah,
like,
but y'all
he's
act like
23
Bron
games
didn't have
old.
what do you have 6 or 7 straight triple doubles in
November.
November?
Bron was playing cool. The narrative or the story at the time was the Lakers were like losing the LeBron minutes. That was the swiping narrative. It was like the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
net
he was the
rating
worst
LeBron.
defender in the league. Huh?
Like they were like negative
He
4 with
was.
LeBron on the court or something.
They are the worst defense in the league too. Don't
And
leave that part out, Mons.
LeBron's defense was factually bad.
It was
First
terrible.
month
It
of
was
the season,
terrible.
It was terrible. So like he was playing bad defense. His scoring
Right.
wasn't at the crazy level. Anthony Davis was like clearly the best performer on the team, and the Lakers were losing the LeBron minutes while they were playing like 500 basketball. So it was like LeBron's like the numbers.
They
are
also
cool,
had
but-
D-Lo too. So
Yeah, they did. The numbers are cool, but how is LeBron impacting?
That's so
winning?
not fair.
That was the
Sticking
question.
you with this D'Lo
And then
stuff.
LeBron,
no,
and then
it is
LeBron went
fair.
through
It
the
is fair.
wash.
'Cause Mark's talking about losing Bron minutes. What if Bron out there on the floor with D-Lo and not AD? You expect to lose those minutes.
There is a lot of context to those numbers that probably wasn't being used at the time. Absolutely. And then LeBron went through the stretch of washedness. Everyone knows the bad stretch where
Wow,
LeBron
when he was washed, Mars, what was he average? Like 21 and 9?
You want me to
Yes.
find the wash numbers? I'll
Yes.
find the wash.
You know what I'm saying? He was Washington's averaging 21, 9, and 7.
Yes, Austin, to your point, he was getting like 18, 13, and 12 triple doubles, and it's like, yo, James is over.
The wash numbers were 17, 7, and 9. Those were the wash numbers.
Okay.
Shooting 40% from the field and 10% from three. Those were the wash numbers.
Crazy.
Yeah, those were the wash numbers.
Terrible.
And it was compounded by that game against the Timberwolves where he was like 4 for 16. It was bad. And then then the next game they got blown out by the Heat. Remember that Heat game where Tyler Hero was going crazy? That was like the down point of the season. That was where like I'd give up hope on the Lakers. This defense was untenable. They couldn't guard anything. The season was over. It was bad.
Right.
And then, if you guys remember, they played the Hawks and they lost that game in overtime, I think. LeBron got that chase down block near the end of the game, but they lost that game in overtime. We watched that game on Playback.
He sold the parlay.
That's when I had to parlay on LeBron turnovers and they were cheating. So this is the time of the season we're at. Bron and AD played like their numbers were great. I think they combined for like 17. And then Bron took a mystery week off. Everyone remembers. JJ Redick's was being asked, hey, where's Bron? I don't know where Bron's at. Then Bron comes back. And since that point, he's been elite on defense.
What week was this? What week was this?
This was mid to late December.
Right around his birthday.
Christmas break.
Right around his birthday.
Nicholas.
He takes a week off. He takes a week off. Crazy. He just takes a week off.
St. Nicholas.
And then he comes back. And then from that moment on, he's averaged 26, 8, and 8 on 54% from the field and 42% from three.
We can't just forget all that other stuff that happened.
He's been in a like borderline elite defender for 2 months.
He went and did that. He went and did that Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah, that's what's happened. That's what's happened. And then he stepped it up again since like the Luka trade and stuff. So like very interesting to see.
But that's understandable.
But I think LeBron's been borderline the top 5 player in the NBA this season, especially when you factor in like all the injuries of people. I do think Bron would probably be on my first team All NBA. Even acknowledging how like questionable that rough stretch in like December was, I still think overall I would still have him top 5 for first team All NBA. I do think I would.
With what you just said, Mars, and that quote unquote elite defense. If we get this for another month, is James an all-league defender?
Oh shit,
he's in the conversation.
Okay.
Might be second team.
I can't go that far, but.
You don't think he's in the conversation?
He can't be second team all defense.
He can't be in the conversation.
If James makes second team,
I'll talk about it with you. I'll definitely talk about it with you. You know, I damn near have any conversation. You know what I'm saying? But damn,
conversation, man.
You know, I'm a little more open on my conversations than you are, right. I'm willing to talk a little bit more about certain things.
Yeah, man.
Fellas, I want to get back to these games, but before we do, since Riddell's up here and since my man King's up here, I just got to say one thing, and this relates to both of you guys. After what I seen last night from Luka Doncic and LeBron James, fuck it, y'all. I got the Lakers going to the championship.
Oh my God.
I can't deny it anymore. I don't know what the hell this boy did during that week. I don't know why LeBron is playing the way he's playing right now. We got an elite defender. He averaging 10 rebounds. He damn near averaging 10 assists. Luka Doncic, 30 and 15 last night. They got Jackson Hayes looking like Jackson Howard.
So if okay,
he looking like Jackson Howard. Yo, I'm just saying, Dorian Finney-Smith out there looking like the perfect piece next to them. Austin Reeves is the best third option in the league.
All right, King.
I don't think
it's crazy.
King, wait, King, just hear me out. Just hear me out for a second, King.
You kind of spin.
I still think Oklahoma City is the favorite in the West. But hear me out for a second. In the playoffs, in the playoffs, right? More times than not, and you guys have heard me say this countless times, my best player ends up being better than your best player. If you look at the standings in the playoffs, right, more times than not, this Laker team, whomever they play, they're going to either have the best player in the series, the second best player in the series, or the 2 best players in the series. When you have that, more times than not, what's going to happen?
Right.
I mean, they're going to have 2 of the top 3 in practically every series they play.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
series they're gonna have the best
Which is cool. But I mean,
That's fair.
I don't think that's
Hey,
enough. But I think they have a shot. They're right now they're my second favorites in the West. It was Dallas where they fell apart.
Yeah, they're close.
So like right now they're my second favorites in the West, and I think they could be OKC if this defense is really like. I need to stop saying if this defense is real. Like, it appears as if it's real.
They beat the Pelicans.
So
there's more
it's
games.
more about just beating the Pelicans.
So this is overreaction.
No, I know what you're saying.
They beat the Nuggets. They beat
the Nuggets.
Dallas before Dallas fully imploded. And it's just the defense in which they've been
twice.
playing for a while now is very intriguing. So if you can have a defense that's that good, Luka still hasn't rounded fully into Luka form.
True.
Which either A, he's not capable of doing it anymore, and Nico Harrison's cooking, or B, he's going to, and it's over for the league. Whichever one you want to choose. If you're a Lakers fan, I know which option you guys are choosing.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a Luka Doncic and then a LeBron James who's playing off of a Luka Doncic with an Austin Reeves, that's a hard offense to stop. And then defensively, they're bought in. They're one of the better defenses in the league. Somehow, like that's a tough team to beat. I would still favor OKC, but I can see the avenue in which the Lakers win that series.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and say they don't have a shot at all. But all I'm saying is this: what made you say that after the Pelicans game? Like, yeah, they played the Nuggets and they played the Mavericks and all that, right? You didn't. Why didn't you say that then?
I think he saw Luka and Bron have a good game at the same time, and he was like,
because
it's okay if that's what it was. Like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's what it was.
That's fool's gold because Ron, there's no way that you think that these dudes is going to be 34, 64, and 20. And that's what it's going to take.
So remember earlier in the episode. Earlier in the episode where I said on any given night we could get a good old 30 for 30. But also too, last night was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Hey, last night was just the straw that broke. Hey, this whole time from what I've been seeing, and I just keep realizing we just seen the player of the month. We just seen what LeBron did for the full month of February. LeBron is back at peak capacity.
with a break in between for All-Star weekend.
Oh yeah, okay. But LeBron is back at peak capacity, playing defense. Like I said, I don't even have to talk about Luka Doncic and how Morris just said. He's just ramping it up. It's the other pieces for me where I'm like, okay, this team really isn't garbage. Austin Reeves has showed us throughout the whole year just the type of baller that he is. Rui has showed us, hey, when Rui knocking down that three ball and you know he's been playing better defense. Rui is nice. Dorian Finney-Smith, this is the biggest surprise to me.
He's been amazing.
He's been really good.
Amazing. I didn't know Dorian was this good. Dorian, but then definitely wasn't locked in, but I'm locked in now. And this is the biggest thing for me. Jared Vanderbilt too. All of a sudden, Luka makes Jared competent. All of a sudden,
you know, it's how Vanderbilt looking viable offensively.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
all I know is there was another player that people were skeptical on his threes in the corner, and he went crazy in the playoffs. Hey, we might have.
Oh, you saying Vanderbilt, PJ Washington?
Hey, we might have that situation again. All the things.
Respectfully,
but hold on.
I'm just saying. Fellas, he's been hitting those corner threes.
He's not knocking down threes in the playoffs.
Are we sure the Lakers are beating?
Why can't he make it?
Let's start with the Grizzlies. Do you think the Lakers are beating Memphis?
We're stomping the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Stomping the Grizzlies?
I think the Grizzlies.
I'm trying to tell y'all the East is better than the West, yo. Like these top teams.
Okay,
I think the Grizzlies lose in the first round.
Ron, you think the Nuggets? They would beat the Nuggets in the 7-game series?
We're not getting the 5.
Stomping the Nuggets.
You don't think so, Moss?
Oh, I'm talking about giving Jokic a wedgie, a noogie, and a swirly. I'm talking about they are working the Nuggets. The Nuggets. So, and this is my same logic with OKC.
The Nuggets are not good.
This is my same logic.
Kryptonite. You guys know that.
They were the Lakers kryptonite with AD. This is a whole different Lakers team. Whole different team.
Oh my God!
You put this Lakers roster in a Houston Rockets jersey, everyone would pick the Rockets. That's the best way I can put it. You put this Lakers roster.
That's Houston
with the coach.
Email you don't coach the coach.
Yeah. No. JJ Redick.
Oh, JJ Redick.
The Lakers organization.
Just with the Rockets.
Call them the Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Everyone would have them beating the Nuggets. Everyone. Everyone would have them beating.
So the only reason why
No.
they're not beating the only reason
It's
why they're
because
not
they're
beating
the Lakers and the
they're the
Nuggets have
Lakers.
beat the Lakers for the last few years. That's the only
That's the
logical.
thing.
But it's not the same team.
That's the thing.
It's not the same team.
As long
It's not the
as
same team.
Jokic
The
is
only
on
reason
there,
you're looking at it is because it's the same franchise.
It's
If the
not
Lakers
the
were called the
same
Houston
team,
Rockets,
bro.
you would pick the Rockets. So because of the history of 4 years ago when Bron and AD and Darvin Ham were on the team,
hold on.
all of a sudden, oh wait, the history. No, if they were
Nikola
Houston Rockets,
Jokic
you would pick the Rockets.
is one of the greatest offensive players of all time.
You don't win
Hey,
1-on-5.
He
Hey,
was
King.
killing
Hey, King.
Anthony Davis.
Hey, King, you know who else is-
going?
You know who else is two of the greatest offensive players of all time?
James
LeBron
and
and Luka.
Hey,
James
two.
and
Hey,
Luka.
I know the
LeBron
math
and
doesn't
Luka.
always
LeBron
math
and
up
Luka.
here on the panel, but two is greater than one, and we all know that.
Okay.
Hey, but one is in the conversation. One is in the conversation.
Okay, but this
Because
is
that's a
what
big
I'm
ass
saying.
one.
Yeah,
That's really like a
big one.
1.9
Yeah,
for
big
real.
one.
And
Big
Mar
one.
said
Oh, I
something.
cannot believe
1.9 is not one, right?
I
That's
cannot
just
believe
not the
this.
same thing. And then on top
Mar
of that,
said
it's
something
still
important
less than two, no matter
before.
what you do.
Go ahead.
Mar said something important before. Is that
I don't get
they still haven't maximized this offense, which is the biggest thing at the end of the day. Because JJ Redick even said it. They're still trying to figure out how to deal with the schemes when teams blitz Luka. Because every team is blitzing Luka, and they are still doing what they're
That's a
doing.
real
No,
thing.
that's
Which is
the
what
thing.
Oklahoma City is
They're
going
still
to do.
figuring
Yeah, but
out
once
the
they
offense.
figure out their alignments and their spacing, it's over.
But what if they
like-
don't figure it out? What if they
It's-
need more than half of a
If they
season?
don't figure out, they're still going to be fine because.
And I can tell you right now, with Oklahoma City,
their offense still functions.
Man, listen, they're not beating the
Presently
Nuggets, bro.
constructed with what they've got going on. Like
And
So
I
the
can tell you-
Nuggets is the team you're caught up on?
Oh,
Oh, King, no, I see what you're doing right here. You're trying to deflect. You're trying to deflect from that the little logo you got on your shirt, and you're trying to throw the Nuggets out there because you don't want to talk about what the Lakers are doing, y'all.
We
can talk about that right now.
Why did Jokic not fry them a week ago?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game. I have no
I
idea.
thought that-
You didn't see that?
I didn't see that game.
Well,
brother,
Mars,
go back and check it out.
according to
go
you and
back and check it
Spy
out.
it's
I think
because
Oh man,
I did
it's
not
because
watch
it was
that game.
February and they just weren't ready.
Yeah, that's some BS.
It's
Because
not-
you
the-
gotta
the
figure out
the
a
Nuggets are not
plan.
good. I'm glad we can like talk about the Nuggets without having Swiper here trying to convince us that they're contenders. Can we all be honest up here?
Please,
This Nuggets team is not serious.
please.
They're
Like,
serious.
I wouldn't go that far, Mars. I
they're
wouldn't
not
go that
winning. They're
far.
I
not
want to
winning.
put money
They're
on
not
this.
They're not
I wanna
winning.
make
I
a
agree.
bet on
I agree.
this.
I don't
Like-
think they're gonna win it, but I wouldn't say they're not serious, bro.
They're not
Yeah.
serious
serious
about
team.
winning a championship. Like they're not serious. They're not seriously going to win a championship. Like, they're
I
not
mean, I
in the-
don't know. I can't say that.
I don't even
just
think the
can't.
boys make
but
it out the
I'm-
first
I'm with
round.
you. I'm hearing what
They-
you're saying. I'm hearing
Oh
what
my
you're saying.
god,
I don't.
that's crazy.
I can see them losing in
Wait,
the
what you
second
say?
round.
It looks like they're
That's the first
probably
round.
going to play the Rockets in the first round. I
Yeah,
can
they're gonna
assure
win.
you.
But
They
they're
will win in the first round.
They
But
might
hold
play
on,
the, they
though.
might play the Warriors though.
Now, if they play
No,
the
the Warriors
Warriors,
coming
Good
back.
night.
might get
Warriors
wicked.
gonna-
Yeah,
Warriors
Good
gonna get
night.
that.
That's going to
Warriors
be a
getting
tough
that
series.
The Warriors getting that.
But we
Shit,
can
they
talk
might play
about
us, for
OKC
real.
versus the Lakers. We could do that right
We
now.
match up really well.
I've got
against-
OKC beating the Lakers.
Thank
but
you.
I can see the Lakers.
We're going
winning.
to
I can
clamp
see it.
them.
You're gonna clamp
Before we
us?
go
Yes.
any further, do not
I'ma
let
tell
him
you
off
why.
the hook. Ron,
I'm gonna tell you why. Go
I
ahead.
want you to stay right there, King. Do
Yep.
not go anywhere. Stay right there, King. Ron, why do the Golden State Warriors beat the Nuggets 4 times in a week? Go.
Okay, so and I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna
I
start
cannot
with
believe
this
this.
because this is what I'm gonna start with. The same way you guys believe that the Nuggets are this big mismatch problem for the Warriors, which I can agree with. It is the same thing on the other end. They are
Based
going
on what?
to pick on Jokic and they are going to pick on Jamal Murray. They're going to. It's
And
So
they
go
got a
ahead.
bigger gun. And they got a bigger gun.
Well, he's smaller.
I
in
think they got. I
stature,
think they got
but
the same.
potency-
I'm not gonna say a
Yeah,
bigger
he's
gun.
smaller,
I
but
think.
he got a bigger strap. Though.
I think they got the. I think they got similar guns. Your gun just might have more bullets in it. That I think that's what I think that's what we are with it. You don't got to reload your clip as much as I do. We
What they
we
call
both
that?
got the
Suppression fire. I'm gonna keep you down and just walk up on
Yes.
you. I'm gonna walk you down.
Ron. I've seen in the playoffs Jimmy Butler get busy. Have I not? 100%.
Absolutely.
I've seen Jimmy Butler get busy, but I've also seen Joker take advantage of mismatches. He is, and who do they have when you think about the Golden State Warriors? What kind of action do they have to continuously put Joker in it? Like, this isn't Boston.
A Steph Curry high pick and roll.
And they're not putting Joker on Steph Curry. They're not doing that. Hell no.
So who's he got? He's going to be.
Then
who's
you
he
know
gonna
they're
guard?
going to fight through that. They're not going to
Yeah.
switch it that
Right.
easy. You
It's
It's
can't
not
do
about
that.
switching. It's about the Nugget scheme is to
Right.
play at the level with Jokic.
100%.
That automatically creates 4-on-3s. which is the Warriors' superpower. The Nuggets pick and roll
and now you have Draymond,
right
or now you have Jimmy
hands.
with
the
that
Nuggets have been
4-3.
playing the same pick and roll defense for 2 years.
Right.
That defense plays right into what the Warriors want you to do.
We can't play drop
terms of
against
pick and roll
Curry.
defense.
We can't.
And Jokic can't play drop, period. He's just bad in drop.
Yeah, you
Right.
can.
You can't play drop
we
against
can't-
Steph Curry in
we can't
general,
play drop against
even
Curry.
with good drop defenders. You can't play
Right.
drop against Steph Curry with
'Cause
maybe
he's gonna
one of the
fry you.
worst drop defenders in the league.
He's
You
gonna
can't
fry
switch with Jokic. You have to play at the level and hedge. That plays into the Warriors' hands. Ron is absolutely right about the Warriors' offense causing major mismatch problems for the Nuggets.
I
That's
think
what
that
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
That
He
part right
agrees.
there,
He
Mark.
said it's a mismatch
No,
on both
Mark,
sides. He
that-
agreed.
that-
He
I'm
agreed.
already on record saying that.
Okay.
Get Joker into action. I'm already on record saying that. Get Joker into action. If you can keep it close, who do I trust down the stretch more to make plays?
The clutch
Yep.
player of the year.
Yup.
Chill. I'm glad you
Who
said
I
that.
trust more?
I mean,
glad you said that.
last I checked, Steph was the clutch player of the year last year. Last time.
I'm gonna paint a
Man,
picture on
Right,
both
right,
sides.
yeah.
Number
Going on this
15.
year, though.
Hey,
Not
offensively
going
and
on this
defensively, I'm gonna paint a picture on
Where's the
both
game out
sides,
last
and I'm
night?
gonna
I
tell
mean-
you guys why I trust the Warriors more.
I'm listening.
On offense, now I will give it to the Warriors. You have the best offensive player on earth, Nikola Jokic. But I still down the stretch, I don't trust Jamal, and I don't trust Michael Porter Jr. Now, okay,
That's
if we're
valid.
getting
Not trusting Jamal is a bit.
if we're getting a playoff Jamal, okay, but Jamal's been so inconsistent the last 2 years. I just don't
He
know.
was pretty consistent.
Last year and this year, it's been a roller coaster for
He's
him.
been pretty consistent the last few months. I will say.
Yeah,
he's been pretty consistent.
and not only that, it's going to take a gallant effort from Steph Curry because have we not seen Aaron Gordon deal with Jimmy Butler? We have seen Aaron Gordon
Yes,
deal
but
with
here's
Jimmy
also the
Butler
thing.
and slow
I
him down.
trust
Yeah, that's a
Jimmy
good point.
Butler.
Yeah.
Y'all
And I
talk about you don't trust
and you
Jamal.
should, and you
I
should.
110%
should.
trust Jimmy Butler.
You should.
And I
I think
trust
I
Steph
think you
Curry.
should trust both of them. I think you should.
You
trust both.
should.
Yeah.
I don't think this series is lost by either team's two best players playing badly. This series is lost with the pieces around the two
Yeah.
best players on both teams. Is
And I
Draymond
think-
going to be viable offensively?
playoff
I think
Jimmy's
yes,
a real
with a
thing.
4-on-3. Is Buddy Hield going to play? Hopefully not. Is Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon going to knock down shots? We will
Pods
see.
kills them, Mars. Pods kills
the
them.
Warriors,
He wrecks
the Warriors
them.
are going to leave guys open. We know that. The Warriors are going to leave Aaron Gordon. They're going to leave Christian Brown. They're going to leave Russell Westbrook. They're going to leave Peyton Watson. They're not worried about them.
Yes,
Are
sir.
they going to make
Yeah, they're
shots? Are
gonna
they
make
going to
them
make
pay. Yes.
Does Michael
Not
Malone
Westbrook,
have
though.
counters in place for when teams shrink the floor? Does he have
Yep.
counters? The same thing with the
Yes.
Warriors. What's their counters for when teams do put two on the ball with Steph Curry? How do you free him up? Is there going to be sort of off-ball actions? What are you going to do? How are you going to create layups? All of those things. There's questions.
Mhm.
I think the Warriors have more answers to the Nuggets defense than the other way around. Personally, that's what I think.
And I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I
brought that
agree.
up, Mars, because
Wow.
you said that they're going to leave Aaron Gordon open. They're going to leave Russ open. They're going to leave Peyton Watson open. They're not going to leave Michael Porter Jr. open, but they're going to leave these other guys open.
Yeah, for sure.
All I need you guys to do, because you brought up a real interesting point against Minnesota when they left those guys open. Mars, if I leave these guys open and we build a 20-point lead, what am I asking my star to do? Finish it. End it. Finish
But
it.
they
These
built
guys-
the 20-point lead because of the stars, but I guess.
They did build a 20-point lead. But if I have guys like Aaron Gordon, I'm not trusting Russ to consistently knock down shots, especially not at the long ball line. I'm not trusting him to
that
do
ain't gonna happen.
Okay, but if I can get Aaron Gordon to keep the defense respectable and we can keep this thing close, and I can get us at a 2-possession game when we get 5 minutes into the game, 4 minutes in the game, who do I like going forward? I'm taking Joker.
Yeah, but that implies you have to keep it
And
close. Yeah.
against
And I
them
think that they
and the
will.
Lakers,
Yeah.
same thing.
Two is greater than one, yo.
I do think
I'm
there's
telling
some-
you,
Two is
two is
greater than one, though,
one.
but you don't know that though. That don't always apply though.
The Warriors,
That
the
don't
Warriors, like,
always apply.
in the close games, you can favor the Nuggets, which is fine. Like, if you want to say
It'll
I trust
be
Jokic
close.
down the stretch, if you want to say you trust Jokic down the stretch more, that's cool.
Yep.
The Warriors shoot the three at such a ridiculous clip, especially compared to the Warriors are like, I think, top 3 in 3-point attempts.
Yeah,
The Nuggets are lost in the NBA. Like, some of these games are going to be blowouts just
No.
off that alone.
no.
Like, if Steph gets it going or the Warriors get it going from 3, the Nuggets won't be able to keep up.
And
Don't let
can I-
Buddy, don't let Buddy
and-
Hill remember he
keep
could
up.
shoot.
But I'm glad you
They
brought
can
that up,
keep
Ron,
because he's
because
gonna control the game.
and Mars just brought it up, so I can counter that, Mars, with the Nuggets got the best transition offense in the league today. They score the most points in the league in transition. On top
The
of that,
Warriors are
they
an
got
elite transition defense, but
on top of that, they got the most second chance points in the league, which means that they're gonna beat up on your guys in the interior.
They
We
will
getting
do
on
that.
the glass.
I
Yeah,
do.
they
I
will
do.
We are
do
gonna
that.
get on the
And
glass.
they're going to control the game.
Which means that we're gonna get guys like Draymond in foul trouble. Which means we're gonna get bigs like Davis and Jackson Davis in foul trouble. And when
He's
we
not
do
gonna
that,
play.
he might be unplayable. And when we do that, guess what that does? That opens up the floor for the big guy Joker to have his way down there.
Chill. I got a question.
Answer.
Do you think there's something to be said that a defense could potentially prevent, especially in these clutch situations, prevent Joker to get in the optimal position or optimal, position on the court for him to get his, shot off? And the reason why I say this, the reason why I phrase it like this, we saw the Lakers obviously put a lot of pressure, prevent him to get in certain spots, and he didn't even look at the basket. And we even saw in the Timberwolves series against the Nuggets that they did a very good job in preventing Joker to get in certain spots, and he was settling for threes, especially in that game 7.
100%.
So in these situations where now with this current roster, where you don't trust a lot of these role players, they are going to do whatever possible to prevent Joker to get in certain spots, because he's not going to be creating, because he's not a ball handler, he's not a guard, he's not going to physically get there. It's going to be harder for Joker to be this clutch elite performer
No, it's not.
in these playoff series with these defensive schemes with this current roster.
May I answer
So
that?
I think that's something
No,
to
it's
be
not.
said right there.
And to answer your question, Rodell, what the Lakers did was they picked up Joker full court and they kept the ball away from him. All right. So I think that the way you counter that is you turn Joker into a 5-man. So if Rui is picking Joker up at 6'8" full court, I'm gonna be a rim runner. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run right to the rim because I'm bigger and I'm stronger than you. You can't keep me out of the lane when I'm running the floor. Like I just told you, they got the best transition offense in the league. So if they got the best transition offense in the league and you're picking me up full court, now what you have to do, when I run to the rim, now you have to collapse your defense. Joker is arguably the best passer in the game. That's where these other guys, Aaron Gordon, Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown, come in and knocking down open shots and getting to the rim. You turn Joker into a 5-man, legit, turn him into a 5-man, make him be a rim runner, get big around the rim, drop the ball into him in the post. And I don't mean him just going to the box and asking for the ball. No. I'm talking Karl Malone. I'm talking Jabbar, where he runs to the rim, right? Just straight duckins. And we do that. Now what has to happen, because you can't pick me up full court. Well, if you can't pick me up full court anymore, now I can have the ball in my hands a little bit more. And when I have the ball in my hands a little bit more, that enhances our offense. The idea was to take the ball out of Joker's hands. That's what enhanced their offense, which slowed them down. You turn Joker into a 5-man, I think that helps them more.
Draymond will have to push Jokic out as far as he can. Now he's not going to move Jokic from 3 feet to 20 feet. He's not going to do that. You push Jokic out as far as you can. You're probably going to have someone also fronting with Draymond behind, or maybe you have Draymond fronting and you have like a loony behind. Depends on what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to make these guys be able to make entry passes. That was their problem against the Lakers a week ago. Guys can't make entry passes. The only one who could do it on the roster is Russ. Everyone else can't make entry passes. And that's a skill that's lost in today's game. Entry passes 30 years ago, this wouldn't be a problem. Get the ball, throw an entry pass, but people can't do it today. So that's a problem. If Jokic is ducking in and you don't have him initiating the offense, you have to trust people to be able to get Jokic the ball. And outside of Russ, who do you trust to throw entry passes over the top of a Draymond Green consistent? I don't know. Personally, I don't know.
Maybe
Jamal Murray hasn't shown the capability.
I was just thinking
even if you
Michael Porter Jr. definitely can't do that.
No.
Aaron Gordon hasn't shown the consistency to be able to do that. Christian Brown can't do that. So you're relying on unreliable passes to get the ball to Jokic in a difficult situation over Draymond Green with Kevin Looney on the backside. And also, teams are going to collapse their defense on Jokic in the paint to leave Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. Yes, they will do that, and they will live with the results. If Aaron Gordon shoots 40% from 3 like he's been doing this season, you tip your hat. He'll score 6 points a game on threes. Okay, cool. If Christian Brown makes 38% of his threes, okay, cool. He'll score 6 points a game on threes. Cool, whatever. We're not giving up cuts. We're not giving up layups. We're not doing that. That's going to be team's emphasis because the Nuggets dominate on cuts. Like you said, they dominate in transition. The Warriors are going to be a good transition defense, I believe, with Draymond Green, with Jimmy Butler, with Podziemski, and he's an excellent hustle guy. Steph is not going to do much in terms of transition defense, but like those three, I think, is their pillars of their transition defense with Moses Moody's motor, with Jonathan Kuminga's athleticism, who we haven't even spoke about. He's an X factor in this as well, being able to play in the dunker spot. I think they can take away the cuts, especially in the half court. And in transition, they might lose that battle, but I don't think that's going to outweigh the way in which they can, quite frankly, dominate the Nuggets offensively. just in terms of the mismatch problem that Steph presents, and then Jimmy Butler playing off of those things. So I think it's a close series in terms of games. I don't know who I'd pick, but I definitely think the Warriors have a real shot of winning that series. I don't think it's outlandish just because Jokic is Jokic. I think
the only difference between, and this is the only like concern I would have if I'm like the Warriors compared to the Lakers, is the Lakers, even though they don't have like a lot of big men depth, they have big guys. Like they have a lot of tall dudes. They have a lot of big dudes, 6'8", 6'9" players.
Yeah.
The Warriors don't really have that. So that's probably the biggest concern other than Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. Like how many people are going to rely to be in these positions? Because you're going to put out Kuminga out there. You're going to put out Jimmy Butler. Are they going to be the ones either fronting or behind him in the post? So the Warriors definitely do not have the advantage in terms of size in this, but they still can scheme up against Jokic. And what Jokic will do after that, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, fellas, before we move on to these super chats, let's jump back into these games. You guys talked about the Phoenix Suns last night with their comeback victory against the Los Angeles Clippers. Let me go ahead and throw this on the screen. As you can see, Kevin Durant did Kevin Durant things, and he led the Suns to a comeback victory, 119-117. The Suns are still below 500 at 29-33. And the Los Angeles Clippers are 32-29. KD had 34 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. How did he look in that comeback last night?
Oh, in the fourth quarter, he took over the game. He's the reason he's the biggest reason why they won in that fourth quarter. Alongside the fact that Tyus Jones didn't play. But
shout out Colin Gillespie.
Shout out Colin Gillespie. That's what happens when you have that national championship experience.
Real quick before you go, because I'm about to head out, and I know Mars, you're about to go in your analysis bag. About to head out. But when the Lakers are in the Western Conference Finals, bet you're gonna see me again. Hey, we here, bro. Appreciate players' choice. This is always fun. Have a good one.
Hey, Riddell, where can we find you at nowadays?
Hey, you can find me on the channel that if you like the anime talk, we're having in the chat. You can find me at the Black Sensei Society YouTube channel. We be having fun over there, talking some anime, talking some nerd stuff, maybe talking about some crazy things that happen, like John Cena turning heel or Luka Doncic getting traded. So we have fun over there. So people us at Black Sensei Society, easy to find.
All right, y'all pull up. Appreciate you for coming through, Riddell.
Yes,
Merry
sir.
Christmas.
Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Mars, as you were saying.
Yeah, KD's the biggest reason for this win. He just took over in the fourth quarter. I mean, there's not much like in terms of analysis you can really say other than Kevin Durant got into Kevin Durant mode. But the biggest thing for me is this Suns team still isn't serious. Like this win doesn't prove they're serious or anything. In fact, I think it more so solidifies how unserious they are. When respectfully, they're down 19 going into the fourth, I think. And then it's just we now need to just get the ball to KD and to a lesser degree Devin Booker and just hope that they can make something happen. It's not like they were doing anything extra crazy or their defense was amazing. I think the Clippers just folded, if I'm being honest. So I'm giving credit to Kevin Durant. He came out, he made a 3 instantly. Off a nice little play, to be fair. It was a little flare screen that allowed KD to get an open look. Then he got a steal, got a dunk, won a quick 5-0 run. And then he made a pull-up 3, that left-hand dribble, pull-up 3. He went on maybe it was 8 straight he made, maybe it was 10 straight, I can't remember, that made the game close within the first minute and a half. But the Suns are still not a serious team, at all. And I stopped watching this game. I stopped watching this game, and then I saw on Twitter that they came back. So I had to watch the fourth quarter to see what happened. And it was just Kevin Durant backpacking. That's what it was. It was Kevin Durant backpacking. Colin Gillespie made some big shots. Give credit to Colin Gillespie. But it wasn't a sign of, the Suns can turn their season around. So if any Suns fans are looking for optimism, I highly doubt they are. But it's not a sign of they've turned a corner at all to me.
They don't get anything outside of Kevin Durant. I mean, Devin Booker, as good as Devin Booker is in transition and as a one-on-one player, they don't get anything from other spaces. They don't get anything from their 5 spot. They don't get, I saw Mason Plumlee get a dunk, and I'm thinking, okay, great. But that's it. They don't get anything else from anybody. in the interior. They don't get anything from their rotation guys. I mean, Kevin Durant was the one who got them back in the game, and Coach Bud's offense is relatively a one-on-one offense. That's what it is.
Yeah, the Suns are still bad. Credit to them for the win. Credit to Kevin Durant. Amazing game. Amazing fourth quarter more so. But yeah, this team is still a bad watch. Like, it's a really bad team to watch, especially if like you have expectations of them, which all my expectations I've had have gone out the window.
Ron, you remember in the when you see the movies where in the olden days when the king would go seize him, like remember when I said that the Phoenix Suns aren't making the playoffs, seize him. Yeah. They basically grabbed me up like, yo, get this dude out of here. This is a bad team, yo. All the way around. This is a bad team.
The only
we did you like
they
that?
were engaged on defense.
Oh
like,
man. Put me in the middle of the freeway and run me over with a semi, 100%. Ran me over with an 18-wheeler. What? They got Kevin Durant for a whole season. They got Devin Booker. And I was actually on the train of them being better because they had Tyus Jones, when in reality he had backup league guard. I gotta accept that. That's what he is.
He's not even better than Colin Gillespie anymore, so he's like a fourth string point guard right now.
Yeah,
but
the
Suns defense tightened up in the fourth. Like their rotations, like there was definitely extra efforts. So I give them credit for that. I know like there was the clip circulating of KD angry with Buds. I know people probably like maybe overreacting to that, but overall, I still think the Suns are way too flawed to do anything serious this season. But with Dallas capitulating, maybe they get the 10 seed.
Mars, can I get a synonym for capitulating? I like that word. Can I get a synonym for that?
Imploding.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Going to pieces.
Going to
apart.
pieces. Yeah,
okay,
falling
sure.
apart.
All right,
yeah.
I can get with that. Okay.
But yeah, I think
they're 3 games back.
Yeah, maybe they can get the 10 seeds and then
I could actually
single
see
game
that
elimination.
They still lose.
They're going to lose.
I would definitely expect them to lose, but
the first playing game.
Single game elimination, maybe you get some heroics.
Come on, man.
King, they out.
They ain't getting no heroics.
The ceiling of this team is to get destroyed by OKC. The best case scenario for this team is to get destroyed by OKC in round 1. That's the best case scenario.
I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Huh?
You gotta feel me for a second with this one. Because now the team has looked terrible. We know that, right? We understand that. But they still got some pieces that if they just mesh together at the right time, they can make it a series. And I'm just gonna leave it there. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't think they'll be OKC, y'all. I'm not even trying to push that. All I'm saying is they still got Kevin Durant. They still got Devin Booker. And I know y'all don't like B-Rad, but I do. And just you know what I'm saying? If they mesh at the right time, it could be a fun series to watch. Maybe OKC in 6. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
No.
The Clippers are also
not even
maybe 7?
Nope.
No. Maybe it's a close game, maybe it's a close game in the fourth quarter of game 4 while they're getting swept.
Best
case scenario.
So KD or Book can't get them 1 game.
They could. They're not going to, but they could.
2 games.
They could, but they're not going to.
As a matter of fact, the odds will be so great in that series that I definitely put a couple dollars on the Suns.
Oh yeah, because I
can't blame you for that.
Come out with a nice
I'll for sure put like 100 on the Suns for sure.
Yeah, because if you win, you end up making $2 million. So.
Yeah, I got a couple loose ones.
I mean, you can't really go wrong. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, y'all, if all your bills are paid, I would suggest that if they get that series, go put some money on.
You do that to pay your bills.
No, you don't.
See, wrong giving out bad financial advice.
No, you don't do that.
But I'm gonna ask Ots because he's the biggest Clippers guy. Are you concerned?
Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot about the last time I was on here. Clippers, everybody's like this.
Yeah,
I guess you got to be. I guess you got to be a little concerned, right? But
the Clippers making the playoffs? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say that for sure, too. I can't say yes or no to that.
They're the
It's
ninth
the
seed
play
now.
because the playing as we know, it's just one game. You know what I'm saying? One game. I think the Clippers could beat us. I think the
Today
Clippers
is
could beat Dallas. I think
today
the
is
Clippers
April-
could beat Phoenix.
Yeah.
Today is April the 12th, and the play-in tournament has started. So you guys got to play Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Y'all got to play.
Let's say we lose to Minnesota and the Clippers beat the Mavericks. I wouldn't be surprised. And wait, DeMontis is back, right?
Mhm.
In this scenario?
He would be back. It's April
Okay,
the 12th. He's back.
DeMontis is back in this scenario. I'll flip a coin. I'll flip a coin for that one, Chill.
I ain't
So
flipping
I'm
no
not.
coin. I
Oh, with
think
that being
you're right.
said, yeah, Chill. Of course you think the Clippers is out. You thought the Clippers was out when they was the 4 seed.
I didn't have to make a playoffs this year.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
things were going so well.
Things were going so
Then
well. that
Kawhi
day.
came back and everything went.
Norman
so bad.
Powell's injured though.
Wait, but that's the
Oh,
thing,
yeah?
though. That's the thing, no more thing. Sometimes you add something better and it gets worse before it gets where it's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you
Norman
gotta take a
Powell's
step back to
injured,
take
though.
5
Yeah.
steps forward. I get it.
Right.
Negative
No, and that's
step,
true.
Mars, don't
Norman-
buy into this
Norman the leading
bullshit.
scorer?
We've been listening to this for years now with this dude, with this nonsense. Don't buy into this bullshit with
It
him.
ain't
Norman
none.
Powell's a
telling
big
me-
deal.
Ox,
Norman Powell's a
you've been
big
telling me,
deal.
It ain't
Ox, you've been
nonsense.
telling me for years that we ain't living in this projects too much longer. I'm getting a better job. You gonna get a better car. We still in the goddamn projects. Sick of
I'm
you
a
with
degenerate.
this Clipper stuff, Ox.
But this the thing, though, Chill. I've been saying it because it just looks that way to me. I'm not in control of what happens on the court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just speculating. Like they had the pieces. Kawhi and PG went out a couple times. Now they got PG up out of there. Norman Powell's playing amazing. It's really up to that. When is Norman coming back?
Hold on. Let me
This hamstring thing could be it could be a week,
And
it
Norman-
could be 2 weeks, it could be a month.
I'll give the Clippers that. He is a big piece. He had a great year this year.
He they lead
So
scorer.
Wasn't he leading
He,
the scoring?
Without Norman?
he is like that.
He's their leading
Tell me
scorer.
about it.
Yep.
He Devin Booker, ain't he?
Yeah,
But
I like Norman
thing.
Powell.
This my thing. This my thing about Norman. If that guy,
So
If that
he's
guy-
got at least 10 days. At least 10
Okay.
more days.
okay,
and I was
so
reporting
if
yesterday.
they don't have Norman, Chill, nah, I don't think
Yeah,
making the playoffs.
they're cooked without him.
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
And his injury before this, it was a knee injury. So he
No,
had a
Norman
knee
Powell?
injury. He came back, and then he got hurt in his first game back
Hamstring
against the
injury,
Lakers. Yeah, hamstring.
Yeah, not having Norman Powell is a problem because
Yeah.
offensively they were already limited. Now, like Norman Powell being that off-ball scorer he is, does make things easier. James Harden has not looked great since the All-Star break, like at all, and they need James Harden to be an All-Star caliber player. Right now, he's not doing that. Kawhi is still either rounding his way into Kawhi form or he's just fallen off. Either one ruins the Clippers' chances. So they need a few things to go right to be competitive, but even for them, best case scenario right now.
Wait.
Best case scenario, they go on a crazy run, get the 5 seed, and beat Memphis
Okay.
around.
Okay,
That's the best case scenario.
Where would you going, Ox? Where would you going, Ox?
Now,
Where
chill.
would you
I'm
going,
keep,
Ox?
now. So with the Suns, I wasn't ready to go there. With the
Okay.
Clippers, I'll take it there. King.
Go ahead.
All right, y'all might want to go ahead and kiss that goodbye.
Oh,
You got the Clippers
God.
over
Y'all
the
might want to
KC,
go ahead and
okay.
kiss
Come
that
on,
goodbye.
bro. Come on,
James
bro.
Harden is not gonna be flustered by all that running.
Yeah, he
around,
is.
barking.
Yes, he is.
Nobody's
he
scared of
is.
that shit. Little puppies
Yeah,
out
he
there
is.
barking. They not big dogs.
What
Yo.
kind of series are we looking at, Ox? If Oklahoma City and the
4-0.
Clippers-
It's going to 7. It's going to 7. It's going to 7. That's
It's
all
not
I'm
even James Harden for
my
me.
goodness.
It's Kawhi.
Well,
Okay.
okay, so Ron, with that, with
Kawhi
that
gonna be
being said,
bullying y'all.
Okay, we've seen Kawhi.
Straight
It's clear,
bully.
it's clear that he can't get to the rim like he used to.
He
right?
don't need to get to the rim.
Yes, he
one
does.
dribble,
100%
two dribbles.
does.
One
With-
dribble,
with
two
that-
dribble.
With that perimeter
At the
defense,
end of
that
the
they
He's
have,
pairing
He's gonna have
J-Dub
to
up.
get
At
the
the end
job.
of the day, you
Yeah,
need to
I'm
get
gonna
the
have
top
to.
five.
J-Dub gonna be begging for help. Like, can I please get
He
off?
probably
of
not
this
gonna be
man,
on
man?
it. He probably not gonna be on
Well,
it.
it's gonna be Lou Dort, but at the end of
Yeah,
the
he's
at the
probably
end
not
of the
gonna
day,
be on
at
it.
the end of the day,
Straight
you
over
need to
the
get
top
to
of
the
that 6'3".
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just letting you know that's what it's gonna be.
Brandon
Lou
Ingram,
Dort
you
ass.
saw Brandon Ingram tried to do that.
Actually, now Lou Dort will probably be on James. But at the
No,
end of the
Brandon-
day,
Brandon
at the
Ingram
end
is
of
not.
the
He's
day,
not to be
you
on
have to
James.
be able to get to the rim. Like, at the end of the
you
day.
have to. You can't just sit out here and be our
I'm not-
best one-on-one player and just shoot the ball on catch and
The whole
shoot or
game.
just throwing the ball between your
Yeah.
nose. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw different stuff at you. We're gonna jump you. We're gonna crowd you. You got to
Yep.
beat him off the dribble. Leonard doesn't have that mobility like he did before. I would give it to you, Ox, if he still had that, where he had that blow-by ability. but those 2 dribble pull-ups just in the mid-range or just knocking down that long ball, that's not enough. He got to get to the rim. He can't do it like he used to.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it might be Chet guarding him because Chet plays the 4 now.
Chet guarding who?
Chet getting bodied. Chet getting bodied.
I do not want Chet playing Leonard. No, we're not doing that.
He lowering that shoulder. He lowering that shoulder. Chet gonna go that way. Kawhi gonna be going that way.
No, we're not doing that.
That's not the matchup we want to see. That is not the matchup we want to see.
Plus, I don't want Chet that far away from the basket because
Chet gonna be on Chris Dunn. Chet gonna be on Chris Dunn.
He's gonna be. Now y'all talk about he's not going to get into the rim. Kawhi gonna be blown by Chet dunking on Isaiah Hardenstein.
He's not blown by anybody. He's not blown by anybody.
He's walking.
Chet gonna be on Chris Dunn. Chet gonna be on Chris Dunn. He's gonna be roaming Isaiah Hardenstein on Zoo. Lou Dort on James. J-Dub probably will be on Kawhi. And then Shea will be Norman Powell, chasing Norman Powell probably.
Shea will be getting his ass toe up.
Cooked.
Yo, y'all gotta put some type.
We understand what Shea would do.
Oklahoma City. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we talk about.
Yeah, we understand what Shea would do.
We're not talking about nothing else. We talk about Shea on defense.
A little respect. He ain't gonna get cooked like that, but he might get.
Oh,
I mean, chasing a guy like Norman Powell screens can just be annoying. So
a pass, yeah.
That actually might be the biggest mismatch in the whole series.
Nah. I'm not gonna.
I think Chris Dunn guards Shea better than Shea guards Norman.
All
right, bro. Hey,
all right, bro. Okay.
All right, bro.
Even if that were true,
only one way to find out.
Even if that were true, Shea being guarded better is still going to outproduce Norman Powell.
Thank you.
Well, because he's going to have
no disrespect to Norman Powell.
He's a substantially better player.
Yeah, he's better.
Is Norman in the conversation?
No.
No,
he's not.
Oh, man,
wait. Let's see now, but this goes to the Josh Hart thing. Clearly, he's better, but we're talking about who's more impactful.
It's Shea. Right?
Shea is more impactful.
Yeah, however you want to slice the question.
Per time. So like how we did with Russell Westbrook when he was the worst player in the league per minute. You got to look at
basketball.
Impact. No. W basketball. You got to look at impact per minute, right? Norman Powell, impact per minute, time of possession, shots and whatnot.
Impact per usage.
Per usage. Thank you, Morris. I knew it.
Impact per usage.
Impact per usage. Norman right there, blow for blow with Shea.
Who's the best player in the league? Impact per usage.
It's a good question. Probably DeMontis.
Impact per usage.
All right, y'all. We got a couple games that I do want to acknowledge before we get to these super chats. You really went swiping right there.
Yeah.
But it's all good. We talked about them earlier, the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry, but they put it on the Knicks last night. Steph had 28, 7, 9 assists. Steph's been passing the hell out the ball this year. 2 steals as well. And the Warriors beat the Knicks 114-102. Thoughts on this game? The Knicks are now 40-21. And the Warriors are the 6th seed at 34-28.
The Warriors are going to get the 5 seed. I've seen enough. The Warriors are going to get the 5 seed. The clutch player of the year wasn't able to get this one out. The game was close going into the 4th. It was like a 1-point game, I think. Then it was close for a little while. Then the Warriors just opened up a crazy lead. Steph made a 3. Moses made a layup. Jimmy Butler got to the line. Then Steph made another 3 to put them up like 10. And I think that's where it was just over from that point. There wasn't really much the Knicks could do. And the Warriors' defense is real, in my opinion. Like, their defense is real. The offense can still stagnate, but when you have Steph, you live with the results. But defensively, they look really, really good. Draymond looks engaged. Jimmy Butler's engaged on defense. Podziemski's impactful. Moses Moody is nice. The less we see of Buddy Hield, the better. Like, it's
the less we see of him, the better.
He had a solid shooting game last night, though.
That's the only thing he's capable of doing. So I mean,
that's what he's there to do.
He was 3 for 10 from 3.
Talking about overall, 6 for 13.
Oh, okay, he was 3 for 10 from 3. He was a -4. Yeah, the Warriors are they're gonna get the 5th seed in my opinion, and I think they're the 3rd best team in the West. I think that's probably where I'm at with them. 3rd or 4th, them in Denver. I don't know. 3rd or 4th best team in the West.
That's fine.
OKC and LA, and then Denver and Golden State 3 and 4.
So, Marks, would you agree with me that the East is better than the West?
I think the top of the East, I think you have 2 legitimate contenders in Cleveland and Boston. I think the West has 1.5. I still don't know what I think about the Lakers, so 1.5. And then I think if you think the Knicks, Bucks, and Pacers are better than Nuggets, Warriors, Grizzlies,
if we just cut it off at the 7 or 8 seed. Let's say we cut it off at the 7 or 8 seed. I'm going with the East in this one, y'all. I've been quietly trying to push this agenda from the whole.
I don't think you've been very quiet, but I mean,
I'm full blown.
If we were to rank the top 8 in each conference, 1 through 16, how would it look? It would look like, it would obviously probably just look like our power rankings, but like in general, I'd assume Cleveland, Boston, and OKC are the top 3. I don't know the order, but what do you want to say? What do you want to say? Who's the best team?
With the best team, I think the best
not right now. Just like who do you view as the best team in the NBA?
And the best team,
Oklahoma City, guys. You don't have to think about.
For me, it's Boston. For me, Boston is the best.
Yeah, I'm still going with Boston. I'm going Boston, Cleveland, OKC.
I'm going Boston.
Boston. Okay, Boston, Cleveland, OKC. Okay, so that's 2 teams out the Eastern Conference.
The next best team to me is the Lakers.
Okay, that's a Western Conference team. How about you, Ox?
I would.
You think the Lakers better? You think the Lakers better than the Knicks?
I'm trying to get Milwaukee somewhere in there.
I was just about to ask you that too. You think the Lakers better than Milwaukee?
I think Milwaukee could be next. I think they might be better than the Knicks, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, you got the top 3. I got the Lakers at 4, and then I got the Bucks right there at 5.
I can see the Bucks at 5. I can see the Bucks at 5. I can see the Knicks at 5.
Right.
Well, Mars. Let me ask you.
I would say the Bucks and the Knicks are the next 2 teams. I think that's fair.
Well, let me ask you this, Mars. Cleveland,
Golden State though potentially 2 at 5.
If you had to pick right now today, who's the best?
Maybe.
So the best team between Cleveland and Oklahoma City today.
To me, it's OKC.
Who's the best team between Boston and the Lakers?
Not giving. Wait, but hold up though. Not giving OKC.
No, Ron, stay here, Ron. Stay right here, Ron.
Well, no, I'm trying to. You brought up Cleveland. And I'm just saying, we've all just skipped over Cleveland when we're talking about the top 3. Cleveland needs more respect.
I got Cleveland.
No, they need more respect as the best team in the league. They need more respect.
Oh no, Boston's got that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way,
I don't know.
But that's
the
point is
the Cavs have been spectacular this year.
They've been amazing. I still think Boston's the best team.
What I'm asking, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, Ron, who you got?
Cleveland, OKC.
Yes. Who's the better team?
Gotta have Cleveland. You just said the best team in the league.
Let me think about it. Let me think about it. I mean, it's close, but I am gonna rock with Cleveland.
It's a conversation.
Okay, so Cleveland, Ron, Boston, Lakers. Who's the better team?
Go ahead and lie,
Ron, come on, bro.
He's smiling. Look at him smiling.
I mean, they got the 2 best players in the series.
100% they do.
Yeah, Boston.
Who's been because the Ox's point, we're talking about the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. To this point, who's been the better team in the league, Ron?
Boston.
Okay. The Knicks and Denver. Who's better?
The Knicks.
Milwaukee, Memphis. Who's better?
So far this season, it's been Memphis.
Indiana, Houston.
Houston.
It's been Houston. Barely. It's been Houston, but barely.
We're talking about today,
over the whole season? Over the whole season?
No, who's the better team? Who's the better team?
No, Chill's asking who's better this season.
Yeah.
He's not.
We're talking about going. Like we're talking about going. Who do you think?
No, Chill's been talking about over the season.
Better this year.
Well, over the season don't really matter. Though. We're talking about right now. We're talking about who's the best.
We're talking about going forward, not going back. Going forward, who's the better team?
Houston's been better this year so far. But if we're asking who's the better team, I got Indy.
So you're gonna
take same. Go back to Milwaukee and Memphis too.
Milwaukee and Memphis.
Yep.
I got the Bucks, but damn, I love Memphis, but I got the Bucks.
So the
East is better than the West.
Wait a minute, we're not done. Detroit and Golden State.
Golden State.
Going forward, Golden State, I think.
Miami and Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota.
You like Minnesota over Miami? Okay. Orlando and the Sacramento Kings.
The Kings.
Oh, come on, man. We better than this.
So that's so of the
Then
top.
you got
8
the Clippers
teams,
and the Hawks, and then you got
Yep.
the Mavs and the Bulls. Then you got the Suns and the Nets.
Yeah, we could stop there. We could stop.
Then you got the
I'm just-
Portland Trailblazers and the Sixers. Then you got the Spurs and the Raptors. Yeah, I think we can see which conference is better.
all right.
Maybe the top,
Yeah,
six, maybe the top 6 is close. Maybe.
Yeah, and that's I understand.
7
that. I
through
understand.
15,
If we go all the way, then yeah. But
Yes.
I just want to keep it with the teams that are potentially
The top,
going to be in the
the top
playoffs.
1%. Well, I know it's more than 1%, but the top 1%
Yeah.
of each conference, maybe the East has it. The rest
Right.
of the rest of the conference, the West is still.
I just want to get off this logic that the East is weak because it's not. That
It's not-
narrative
it's
is
not-
over.
it's not.
Hasn't been weak for a while.
No.
though.
Now I will say the fact that the 7 seed in the East is below 500.
Yeah. But I think we just grew up in a time where the East was known to be subpar. And I just think those times is long gone. Like I don't think it's been that way for a while now. But we just get stuck in our ways. We get
I
stuck
think the
with
East has been
saying the
solid
same
for like
things.
5 years since.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
2019.
saying. Like
It's funny because
we
the
gotta
moment
stop
LeBron
doing
left, I think the East actually became solid. So like, it's
The
funny.
days of the
2019, I
days
think the East became
of
good.
like 2005, 2013, them days is over for that Eastern
The dark
Conference.
times.
long
Yeah,
gone.
that we ain't talking about that no more.
Yeah, the East.
They
the
were
East is
bad
solid.
for a long time now.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Speaking of the East, it's one more team that we need to talk about. And it's one more player in specific that you guys need to talk about.
Yeah, I
I'm
wanted
not
to
gonna
talk,
say
yeah.
nothing. I'm gonna let y'all do the talk.
He's making an All NBA push, by the way.
By the
Check
way,
him out.
He's got a month to like keep this type of stuff up. He can make a late push for All NBA.
Halliburton.
He is great, like because
he's what?
preseason I had him as the 7th best point guard in the NBA, and then it started off poor,
Yeah.
and like all of the flaws I'd already acknowledged were like very apparent. But he was still really good. Like you could see he's a good player. But I don't know how to evaluate Tyrese Halliburton, if I'm being honest. I just don't like.
Morris, he was hurt to start the year, and I couldn't
But
say that. 'Cause y'all was gonna jump me.
even away from he was hurt, like I can understand
could've said
that
that
bad
wrong.
back. I think was what was
You could've
good.
said
That's
that
fine. I just struggle in general with evaluating a player like Tyrese Halliburton. I just think he's unique, and I think that's a compliment. And it doesn't make me question what I think I know about basketball. But he's just a unique player, so it's like you don't have much to compare him to.
But
So like I
Miles,
can't be like this is this valuable because it was this valuable when this guy did it, so I can compare it.
well, that's what I was about to say,
I
Miles.
don't have a sheet
Because
to cheat off of.
wouldn't he just be the exception? We're talking about an elite passer who's become, in my estimation, a much better shot creator, great in transition, not just great in transition,
Amazing.
average on defense. I'll give him.
He's
average on
getting there.
defense.
He's getting
Yeah.
to average. Like
Average
probably still below, but getting there.
Average on defense, elite in transition, much better shot creator, elite passer, great IQ.
Might be the
I mean,
best
that-
decision maker in the league.
I mean, that's, to be honest with you, this sounds like a lesser version of Luka.
That's interesting.
Nah, he played way too fast to be.
That's
Luka.
interesting, bro.
Like that, he's like, okay, stay with me.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
He's like the way he processes the game reminds me of Larry Bird. And what I mean by that is he doesn't play like Larry Bird.
I know where you're going.
But the way he's able to make decisions so fast and see the game, like the way things are unfolding, like the way the reason he confuses me is because he's a point guard who's a great playmaker, but he doesn't do it in the typical sense of he's pounding the ball, creating advantages and making reads.
Right.
The advantages are there, or they're split-second advantages. And he's so quick at recognizing them and dissecting it that he's creating elite offense just off the way he sees the floor. And the reason I compare that to Larry Bird is because to me, he's the best touch passer ever. He saw the game at such a quick speed ahead of everyone else that he was able to, without dribbling and collapsing a defense with his handle or breaking down a defense, he was so quick seeing things that he was able to collapse defenses just off his brain power and decision-making. So that's what I mean by he reminds me of Larry Bird in that aspect. Now, obviously, he's a point guard. He dribbles the ball. He runs the offense. It's different. So I'm not saying Tyrese Halliburton is Larry Bird, but he reminds me of Larry Bird in the way he's able to make decisions as quick as Larry Bird did. That's what I mean by he reminds me of Larry Bird. Now, in terms of a player comparison, I don't know who I'd compare him to. I don't think there's really. I think he's
tough
unique.
to find a player.
I think he's unique, and I think that's fine. I don't think we always have to compare someone to a player, whether that's past or present. I think he's just a unique archetype. I think he's very impactful.
Tyrese remind me of like of one of those kids that gets really good early. You know what I mean? Like a sixth grader, a fifth or sixth grader with a strap that just kind of just got better than everybody faster.
Like Jason Kidd. Like Jason Kidd wasn't much different from him from senior year high school to Cal to when he got to the NBA.
Jason Kidd was kind of like that in the way he just saw the game. Like
yes,
ahead of
he wasn't much different. But to Mars's point, I can appreciate the Larry Bird logic off the strength of him seeing the game and processing the game steps ahead, where he sees the game happening ahead of what's going on right now. Kind of like I see with Luka. I see Luka doing the same thing where, okay, I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna be here when he does that, and it's gonna work out. And he's definitely more of an initiator more than a reactor, and I like that about Tyrese Haliburton, as opposed to a guy who I'm just gonna react to the defense. No, I already know what you're gonna do, and I see what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna move. I'm already steps ahead of you. So he sees the game in the future. Oh, he's in the ninth grade playing. He's with sixth graders. That's how he sees the game.
I think Tyrese Haliburton he plays, in my opinion, not a simple game, but he doesn't play a game like he doesn't make the game more difficult than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
the best players.
That's a testament. That's a testament to him.
Yeah.
And I think the Pacers coaching staff do a good job because I don't think Haliburton's like the greatest ball handler. He's going to break down a defense. I don't think that's his game. So the Pacers coaching staff do a good job of like running things that organically create advantage situations. They use a lot of flare screens and stuff that like put the defense in rotation. Their sets knock down the first domino, and then Tyrese Haliburton just starts the chain reaction of everything, and then it's just quick ball movement, creating open shots because now you set this flare. Miles Turner sets a flare screen for Tyrese Haliburton. That puts Tyrese Haliburton's man behind the play. That means the big has to step up to Hallie. Now we're in a 4-on-3, and Hallie he's dissecting this so quick that now the defense is in rotation and everyone's swinging the ball and you're creating open shots. Instead of like the typical sense of we're going to have Tyrese Haliburton come up, set a pick and roll. We're going to see what the defense does. If they're in a drop, we're going to shoot. If they blitz, we're going to drop it off to a 4-on-3. They don't do it like that. They just set the offense in motion, and then Tyrese Haliburton like does the rest, and then everyone else falls into place and creates open shots off of that movement and stuff. So I think the Pacers just have a really cool offense that's kind of unique, and I think it starts with Haliburton and how quickly he's able to make decisions. Even though I don't think he's the best passer in the NBA, I don't think he's a good passer as like a Trae Young or a Jokic or a Luka. But in terms of decision making and quick decision making, there's not many better than him in the league today. And then even beyond that historically, like in terms of just being able to make decisions as quick as he makes them. Like I think that's a superpower of his, just being able to read the floor like that. So that's why he's unique to me. Now, and you could be I don't know where he ranks, but he's special.
And you could be the best processor and decision maker and make basic reads and still be elite. Because if you think about the better players in the game, and I've said this to you, Ron, countless times. Like we talk about Jordan, and I've said this countless times. Michael Jordan had a basic game. It wasn't the reason why people look at Jordan game like it was so dramatic was because of him playing above the rim. But if you look at Jordan's game and you dissect Michael Jordan's game, Jordan had a real basic game. It wasn't a lot of extracurricular nonsense with Jordan. I think the same thing's going on with guys like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard had a basic game. It's not really much going on with Kawhi. One dribble, knock down the mid-range. Two dribbles, get to the rim. Stuff like that. With Tyrese Haliburton, the way he processes the defense, throw the ball on the floor. I got a guy rim running in Obi Toppin, which I see him already running by the time the shot goes up. And I'm already looking for him. By the time the shot goes up, he's already gone. I already see him. I see this guy late on defense, and I'm going to fire him the ball. Well, it looks elite, but he's just processing the game quicker than other people, and he's doing basic stuff.
All right, y'all. It's time to get into the super chats. Oh, also, by the way, since All-Star break, Tyrese Haliburton's leading the league in assists. Shout out to Hallie. I knew he was going to get back to his shape.
He was the first player to get 500 assists in a season before 100 turnovers.
That's good.
This season? Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he's the first player in history to do that. So,
shout out Hallie. All right. I do also want to shout out to our Hall of Famers. You guys know who they are. You know the names. But in case you don't, Cobra Son of Raditz, Multi Kenny, Vale, Cheese, 40 Cal, and Tyrese Williams are the GOATed Hall of Famers. Salute to y'all. If you haven't liked the video yet, what are you doing with your life? If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? And if you haven't became a member, stop jiving, stop bullshitting. Click that membership button and be a Hall of Famer. All right, here we go, y'all. We got some super chats. We got another one. Pounds from SMN R&DM. He said, "True, but I'm sure he pushed. I'm sure he pushed AD early because of fans, and the team was thin because if that's kid's choice, or if that kid had no choice but to push Kai. Of course, is my opinion, but that's how I see it."
He pushed AD early because of fans, and the team was thin because if that kid, I don't know if I understand this,
because kid had no choice but to push Kai.
Right.
He's saying he thinks Nico Harrison encouraged Anthony Davis to come back sooner than he should have.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Davis got hurt, and because of that, Kid had to
push Kyrie more minutes.
So domino effect. Nico Harrison traded Luka, that led to Kyrie's 20th year. That's what he's saying.
Basically.
Boone Works Out said, "For Chilltown, if the Lakers and the Celtics meet in the finals, how do Tatum in their hard-boiled cages from TD Garden plan to put their lid on Luka Doncic in the razzmatazz pop skippity doo
on the money making at the end of the court?" Basically, what he's saying is how they're gonna slow down James and Luka. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, how do they do that, Chill?
How do they?
Well, it goes against what I just said. If you got the best player in the series, or the second best player in the series, or the two best players in the series, how do you slow these guys down?
You think Boston have the best player in the series?
I do, and Jason Tatum. But with that being said, if that's the case, how do I slow down both Luka and James? Well, I may have to slow down the rest of those guys, and let Luka and James eat, and slow down Austin Reeves and Rui, and make James score 35, 40, and bet on the idea that he can't do that over the course of a 7-game series.
Yeah, I mean, I think Boston don't defend typically. Like, Boston don't put two on the ball. So, like, this thing of like, oh, you're blitzing Luka and that's
very
creating a man advantage. Like, they don't put two on the ball. They don't put two on the ball, and they don't help off of 3-point shooters. So, like, two of Luka and Bron's superpowers is either A, being able to create mismatches, which Boston do a good job of just not having many in terms of Drew, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and B, being able to collapse defenses and create threes. Boston's defense tends to take away both of those things. Like, that's like their main strategy is don't give up man advantages, don't put two on the ball, don't put two on anyone, and then don't help off, particularly the corners, but don't give up spot up threes. Those are like the Lakers' like keys to winning. So I think Boston have a solid, not a solid game plan, but I think their game plan plays into Bron and Luka have to score a lot of points to win. And obviously Bron and Luka are capable of scoring a lot of points. That's
sure.
Like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, they're going to sweep them because Bron and Luka can't score.
And
but
what we're betting on,
their playmaking will be limited, I think.
And what we're betting on is them sustaining that, not being able to sustain that over the course of 7 games.
And then defensively, I think the Lakers might have some trouble, but because of how much constant movement and driving kicks and constant rotations, it might be difficult just to have everyone on a string at all times for that series. But I think that's just in general, not just the Lakers' problem. It's just hard to guard Boston.
Justin Dot said, "Strictly basketball, y'all gonna put some respect on KPJ. He's like that."
I haven't watched the Bucks game last night, but from what I've seen, he has been good for the Bucks. I've pointed out. I've also given Kuzma credit. I think both of them, and Jericho Sims. Like, every trade they've made has been good for them. Like, Jericho Sims has been really valuable for them defensively. Kuzma's been really valuable for them defensively. KPJ's been a good punch off the bench. Punch is a weird word to use. Good
spark
off the bench.
Sure.
For them in terms of just being able to initiate offense, create his own shot. And defensively, he's not bad, especially at the point of attack as well. So yeah, I think all of their trades have been good, and I was low on their trades, so giving credit where it's due for that.
Yeah, we ready to cook come playoff times.
Mm.
8 Gates Lee sent through a members chat and said, "We fucking had it. We fucking had it. 23 points. God, I hate this team."
He's a Clippers fan. Yeah, he's a Clippers fan. Yeah, they going through it. Yeah,
And to the Suns at that.
The Clippers don't look great. And as a Rockets fan, we meant to be praying on the Suns' downfall, but at the same time, I don't want the Clippers to catch us in the standings. So it's like there's
a double-edged sword for you.
There's confliction. It's like whoever wins at some point, I'm gonna be upset at the result in some way. But seeing KD was always cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Exclusive excellence with the members chat. Exclusive said, "Is it fair to say Zion is top 15 or fringe top 15 at least?"
We actually had this conversation earlier, and sounds like he's in the conversation with Mars.
He's in the conversation for top 15 for sure. Yeah.
Brandon Dawkins said, "Do you think that old media projecting narratives on the MVP award makes the criteria inconsistent? Because we have plenty of people that should have won 3 in a row or more in a row."
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Which one is it? Is it the best player on the best team? Is it the best player on the? Is it the most valuable player? Is it the guy who's? It's so inconsistent. But the one thing that does always matter is winning. But it's not the best player on the best team always. It's not the guy who's contributing the most always. It just seems to shift when we're talking about the most valuable player. And I would like for there to be some consistency other than winning.
Stupid award.
Average Joe.
Mars, really quickly, Ron. I don't think it's stupid if it was actually treated like the MVP.
Yeah.
I think that if it was treated like that, like for example, in football, it's the best player on the best team. In baseball, we don't care about winning. Whoever the best player is, that's what the MVP is. In basketball, the most valuable player, what is it exactly? Is it the best player in the league? Is it the best player on the best team? Is it the guy who's the most valuable to his team's success? Which one is it? Because that seems to shift from time to time. If they treated it like it was that, I think we'd have a better idea of what it is.
Average Joe said, "Donovan Mitchell isn't even playing better than Brunson. Cool. The Cavs are winning. They are winning because of how much better Garland and Mobley have gotten. And the bench has gotten better."
That's so goofy to say that, yo. Oh, that kind of shit drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I mean, they didn't just become the best team in the league because Donovan Mitchell got better. Like,
And
I don't even think Donovan Mitchell got better.
I don't think he got
I think
better
it took a
neither.
step back for people to take a step forward. It seems like.
That's
So,
what I'm
like,
saying.
Yeah.
Why does he now become a first team All NBA
Exactly.
player when he didn't get better?
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good point too, though.
just because you average more. Now, wait a minute, Mars. Just because you average more points does not mean that you didn't get better. I might have.
I didn't say he got worse. I just said he didn't get better. I think he's Donovan Mitchell.
Well, think about him. Think about him averaging 28 that year. In I think he shot. No, I'm talking about the year he made All Pro. That was the first time he made All Pro.
2023.
Yeah, in 2023. But now, like this season, I think he's played better, just as a playmaker, as a passer, as a defender. I think he's played better, and they've been better because of it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I don't agree. I think he's played better a few years. I think he's probably the same level of player, and I think he's shown he can be that level of player. I don't think he's gotten worse, but I don't think he's got better. I think his team has gone better. I think Evan Mobley's got substantially better. I think Darius Garland has improved from where he was in 23. Last year was a down year for reasons beyond Darius Garland, and people were like, "Oh my God, Darius Garland's washed."
He broke his face.
He broke his jaw. Like, so
yeah.
Darius Garland just wasn't Darius Garland. And then you implement what Kenny Atkinson and his coaching staff has been doing this year, which is a difference from what JB Bickerstaff was doing. I think that's opened up the game for Donovan Mitchell and the rest of the team, which has made them better. I don't think it's Donovan Mitchell. I also don't think it's just Darius Garland. I think it's all of it put together. And I don't think Donovan Mitchell has played like one of the 5 best players in the sport. So I wouldn't put him on my first team All NBA. That's about it.
But when you go back to him playing better, you remember how I thought he should have been first team All Pro that year in 23 when he made.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, because that was the Luka and Shea year.
Yeah, I thought he should have made first team All Pro. So
MP13 said, "Is it crazy to think that the solution the league figured out for Jokic is to triple team him and let the fake NBA players around him miss open shots and fail to attack closeouts?" dudes.
I don't know about them being fake. Let's chill
Yeah.
out on that. I don't know about Aaron Gordon being fake. I don't know about Christian Brown being fake. MPJ is not fake. I mean, these guys are these okay. They ain't knockdown shooters, but I mean, I think they're respectable enough that you could keep defenses honest.
They don't seem to be doing that right now. But I think the solution, quote unquote, for Jokic is to not let him touch the ball. Well, do your best to not let him touch the ball, and then when he does, you have to take away the reads that make him so dangerous, which is the cuts and layups and stuff. Which is what makes him different from like a typical primary ball handler, because when you have control of the offense at all times in terms of bringing it up and initiating, you kind of have more control of where things go.
Yep.
And when you're a big, it's kind of different. But I don't think they solved Jokic. I think they solved the flaws of the Nuggets roster, and one player is not going to be able to make up for a roster as flawed as this Denver team, especially in the current NBA, which I think is what makes it a bigger problem. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe you just figure this out, but in the current NBA, I don't think your roster can be this flawed and you win. I don't think that's possible.
DBZ stay. Said James doing this with Luka, who is a top 5 player, which is impressive. But what Steph is doing is way better. And the only thing he got was Jimmy, who is nowhere near what he used to be. Just stop.
Okay, we're stopping.
Okay,
He's that what that is, Moss. That's a Warriors fan wanting you to say that the Warriors are legit, and the reason why they're legit and Curry is a lot better than what we giving them credit for. That's all that is.
Oh, Steph's amazing.
Yes,
and
he
the
is.
and
nobody
Warriors,
ever.
I said I think they're the
Amazing.
4th best team in the West, third
I
or
said
fourth.
third,
I think that. I said third. Them in Denver, third or fourth. It doesn't. No, I think they're a legitimately good team, and I think Steph Curry's been really, really good. I think his offensive impact was still felt even when he was struggling. It was just you had the questions about can he still self-create at the level he used to, the isolation stuff, can he still get to the rim? I still have some of those questions, but now you see when he has offensive competence around him, all of a sudden he looks like Steph Curry. So yeah, I think Steph is fine. I don't see how that pertains to LeBron.
I just hate the logic that if you don't think that this player is what they think he is, you hate him. That shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, tell me about it, Jill.
Man, that shit drives me crazy, man. I don't think that Steph Curry is the best player on the planet. You hate him.
Literally.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
Average Joe said, look at the Los Angeles Clippers schedule. The rest of the year, they are not making the playoffs. They are going to need to win 2 playing games, and they will likely have to play the Phoenix Suns, who have swept them this year.
Okay, so their schedule. I'm gonna just read off their schedule. We don't need to predict their record, but this is their schedule. So tonight they have the Pistons, then the Knicks, the Kings, the Pels, the Heat, the Hawks, the Hornets, the Cavs, the Grizzlies, the Thunder, the Knicks, the Nets, the Cavs, the Magic, the Pels, the Mavs, the Spurs, the Rockets, the Kings, and the Warriors.
No.
Damn,
so it's not a great schedule.
That's
it's
awful.
not ideal. It's not ideal. They got a couple in there. Like they got the Nets in there. They got the Mavs who are gonna be tanking, obviously.
Hornets.
The Pels ain't an easy game.
That is not. No.
And Zion
might be. Yeah, but Zion might sit out a game. You never know.
Yeah, I didn't check if those are back-to-backs for the Pels, but it's a tough schedule.
Vale sent through a members chat, and he said Tyrese Halliburton is what people thought Lonzo Ball was going to be, offensively speaking.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. I can see that. I think the biggest difference, obviously Lonzo got hurt. I think the biggest difference is Lonzo just wasn't as good of a scorer as Halliburton is in terms of like, especially in the mid-range. He just wasn't good enough as a scorer to really leverage his quick decision maker, because he's an excellent quick decision maker as well. And I still think Lonzo's a better passer than Tyrese Halliburton is in terms of accuracy and variety of delivery. That's how good of a passer I think Lonzo is. I just don't think he can leverage it with the lack of scoring gravity he has. So I think playmaking-wise, Halliburton went to another stratosphere because of the fact that he's able to score, especially from all over the floor in the way he is. But Lonzo is that quick decision maker. Yeah, I can see that. I thought Lonzo was really like that. And then obviously injuries did what they did.
Dante Flint said Tyrese Halliburton on the Bucks would have been tough, but that's not my business though. LOL.
They got Dame. What they need Halliburton for?
Who's better?
Dame.
Halliburton.
You want to talk about it? We can talk about it, but I think it's Dame.
Okay.
But
I'm not mad at that.
Tyrese, but Halliburton's in the conversation.
Yeah,
I got to have a conversation about it. Yeah, we got to have a conversation about it 100%.
The Barber 1313 said, "Been a Dallas fan for 20 plus years. I've never seen the fan base less interested in the team. You got to be invested for winning to fix it. Arrest Nico."
Arrest is crazy.
Yo, oh my goodness.
C2 React
Oh
said,
my
"If Tatum
God.
wins the chip in the Finals MVP, is it possible to start talking about him as a top 5 Celtic?"
Year 8.
Well, Bill Russell and Larry Bird, I think, are the definitive top 2.
Yeah.
So to win the championship, because that's what he's basing it on, Moss. To win the championship, just so
Yeah,
so we
Finals
clear.
MVP.
So to win the NBA championship, I'm a first team All Pro for the 4th straight year. Russell didn't do that. We'd win the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons. Bird didn't do that. So that's the kind of stuff that people would think about when they're thinking about Jason Tatum in terms of being an all-time. He wasn't better than Bird,
Yeah.
Russell, Havlicek. Those are the
Bob
3 guys
Cousy.
right there.
Bob
Cousy. Those
Mikal?
3-4 guys right there.
That he would be battling for that 5th spot, I'd assume,
Yes,
with
he would be.
Mikal.
He would be battling for that spot.
Paul Pierce.
Oh, you have him over Paul Pierce? If that's the case?
I think he's a better player than Paul Pierce was.
Well, yeah, but okay, yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah, I agree with that too, though.
The longevity part, though. I mean, Jason Tatum's been there for 8 years. Paul Pierce was there for how long?
He showed up in
13,
98.
14
He
years?
showed up in 98. And
To
then I
what,
think
13 or 14?
He left in
13.
2013. So
Yeah,
like
so
14, 15 years.
14, 15 years he was there. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a big difference. Yeah, he'd be in the conversation for that 5th spot, I think. In the conversation.
All right.
Still got more work to do.
Tupac Westside says, "Shout out to Jackson Hayes. He really stepped up. I think he just needs to put on about 20 more pounds in the offseason."
Oh no, because they use him as a switch big. If you put on that type of weight, can he still switch at the level he's switching at? I don't know. So
He don't need to put on no weight. He might need to get stronger, but he don't need to put on no weight and get slower, lose a little bit on his vertical.
I'll tell you what.
Like, his best, like the best asset for him right now, aside from his defense, is amazing. But it's like Bron and Luka get into the painted wheel, and the defense has to help over, and they're just throwing it up there.
Speaking of getting something, Ron, if he keep this up, yo, I might have to get my name on that contract that say 115 million. I know that.
I mean, if a team starts paying Jackson Hayes because how he looks with Bron and Luka, then they're just like 18 pounds. Like,
Mars, plenty of guys have gotten paid because they look better with other people. Plenty.
yeah, that's just
That has happened.
I mean, I guess.
SMN R&DM said, "Weird. The way I see OKC is the favorite versus everyone, but also can lose versus everyone. Even in the finals, they're the favorite. Something tells me they can choke."
They're not losing to the Clippers in round 1. They're not.
Nah.
The Clippers ended up with the AC. The Clippers are not beating them 4 times in a week and a half. I just don't see that happening. No, absolutely not. If they end up playing, I don't know, Sacramento in round 1, Sacramento is not beating them in the playoffs in the first. They're not losing to them. No, they're not.
Only teams I can see beating them is the Nuggets and the Lakers, for different reasons. But those are the only teams I can see beating them.
That's it.
And the Nuggets is like a 0.4%.
I think Houston to give them a run for their money. I do. I don't think
He
that
can't score.
Houston can. They need a closer, though.
Yeah, I think Houston.
We need to be able to score the basketball.
Like I would reach.
Well, y'all play defense to keep you in games, though.
That defense been fake for a month too, but I mean, it is what it is.
Is what it
Shout out
is.
to the Rockets, man. Still having a good season overall.
For sure.
Just the fall is sad.
Average Joe said, "One of y'all was watching something crazy. I heard that. Don't think you got away clean."
One of you was
I
watching
don't know
something
what you're
crazy.
talking about.
I was freaked out.
My TV off in here, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't judge.
So if I was watching something crazy, I'd have showed everybody. I'd have put it on the screen.
Okay.
At the Buzzer Sports said, I'm sorry this window closed this year. I'm sorry this window closed. This year is fried. Kyrie probably won't be back until late next year. I don't think a 34, 35-year-old Kyrie and AD wins it all."
well, that's in 3 years. That ain't.
Well, Kyrie's
year.
34 next year in March. So the playoffs next year will be 34. AD will be 33.
So he turns 33 this year. Okay,
This month, yeah.
this month he turns 33.
So he'll be 34. The next time we possibly see Kyrie in the playoffs, he'll be 34, coming for torn ACL. Next time we see AD in the playoffs, he'll be 33. We already assumed this window was a 3-year window, including this year. One of those years is already gone. So that means they have a 2-year window. And that 2-year window is a 34 and 35-year-old Kyrie Irving.
Hey, Damian Lillard is, I think, 34 now.
Nah,
He'll be-
Dame's 36, isn't he?
No, he'll be
Dame is
35.
not 36. Dame's
No,
not
he'll be-
36.
He'll be 30. He'll be 35 in what you call it. He'll be 35 in July. Mhm. So he's
Okay.
34 now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dame. But at least he's playing next to maybe the best player in the world.
Kyrie potentially could be.
Cooper Flag? Yeah, thanks.
Brandon Dawkins said KD has to average 50 for them to win a playoff series if they make it.
I'm good.
I still don't.
Yeah.
think
No Cap Prince said Chill always runs to players' age when it fits his argument, but doesn't bring up Kyrie is 32, tearing his ACL. This is a dead year with aging stars.
It is.
I hope Kyrie can come back and be Kyrie.
I think he
do
will
too,
be.
man.
I don't think he's over. I think he will be.
Yeah, I hope not.
SMN RNDM said, hell nah. No role player can be a top 5 Celtic ever. Get a grip.
Respectfully, John Havlicek was a role player for a long time.
He was a 6 man for like 4 years, 3 years,
And,
3 or 4
he's
years.
and he's a top 5 Celtic. So
Yeah. What are you talking about?
yeah, just gonna disagree.
Give me a break. And just so we know, they all role players. A last one of them.
Brandon Dawkins said, I need to know, Chill, is it a myth that Scotty guarded Magic more than MJ?
It is a myth. Jordan
Right.
Jordan was matched up on Scotty. Jordan was matched up on Magic. Scotty ended up matching up on Magic when Jordan got in foul trouble.
Yeah, in like game 2 or something.
Yeah.
Matt
That wasn't
with
his
the super
primary matchup.
Matt with the super chat said the documentary on Nico Harrison completely ruining this team will be legendary. It's gonna be an elite 4-part Netflix special. I can't wait for that one.
Dude, this Nico Harrison stuff is never going away, yo.
It's not. It is going away if they win. If they win, it shuts it all down.
God.
We shut it all down if they end up winning. Yep.
Nico, you better hope you get Cooper.
Better hope.
Hey, your Netflix special might be the other way around. How you're a savior. Ray B said, "Dub basketball show." That is all.
Thanks, Ray.
Shout out Ray.
Mhm.
Average Joe said, "LA needs someone else to beat OKC. iHeart and Chet pose a huge problem for him. The best defenders don't actually fit well in a lineup versus them."
Yeah, I got the Thunder in the series.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I got the Thunder against everyone in the West, but I think the Lakers have a shot.
And I agree with that too. They have a shot, but I just don't think they'll beat us.
Magnum Opus said the Mavericks were planning on rebuilding in 3 years regardless. Y'all want to see Luka waste years on a rebuilding team or be somewhere he can compete?
He's young though. You
The
can
Mavs
rebuild around him one more
planning
time,
on
and that was
the Mavs planning on
hypothetical.
rebuilding in 3 years was stupid when they had Luka Doncic on their
I
team.
don't think they were going to. You still have.
That's what I was
TJ
about to say.
Washington,
So
still
if
have
you
Jared
saying-
But even
Lively.
if they did,
Yeah.
he's a young player. You can still rebuild around him one more time. Hypothetically, if they did,
What team got a top 5 All Pro at 25 years old and going? That's the problem. Let's get rid of him.
yeah, no.
They locked in, man. They know the game.
We moving off of him. Now we're not gonna keep building around him. We moving off of him.
Moving off of him.
Mhm.
SMN RNDM said, "Dude's so afraid of the Lakers. He's just praying the Nuggets take care of them because he knows they cooked."
That's not true at all. I'm not afraid of anybody in the whole NBA. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think the Nuggets can knock off the Lakers. That's all I'm saying. I don't. If they don't, I'm not gonna cry about it.
The Average Joe said they are going to sit down AD because after this year, they don't own their pick until like 2030. Time to tank and get lucky in the lottery.
Wow. 2030. I had no idea about that.
They have that pick this year.
They
and
only
every year
have
after
this
that, they
year's
don't
pick.
have
That's
Yeah.
it.
And every year after that, they don't have that pick.
Damn.
I think that Kyrie Irving trade. I think that was part of it.
They traded a pick to get Kyrie. They traded a pick to get Grant Williams. They then attached Grant Williams and a pick to
Oh,
get
yeah, and a
PJ
pick-
Washington.
Yep.
Like they were doing some interesting things.
Pick for Grant Williams is heat. DSG Piccolo said, "What all defensive team? Chill? Question mark. Tumani, Amin, Triple J, Asar, Mobley, J-Dub, Dyson, Dort, Bam are all over him. Braun got that tip spot. Question
Asar
mark.
can't make it because the game's played.
Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, Mars, that he can. That's only 9 guys. There's the 10th guy right there.
Yeah,
Nah,
he's
right
asking
there.
if LeBron would be the
Yeah,
10th guy.
that's the 10th guy right there. Yes, he can.
Interesting.
All right. TS1 said, J Kid makes me appreciate Steve Kerr more. At times, I complain why Steph ain't play more, but it has helped him with his injuries recent years at this age. Shout out J Kid.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess.
Zigsaw Puzzle said, we really won off a heave from Jacoby with a closing lineup of Walter, Shed, Lawson, Roden, and Robinson. F the tank, I guess.
The
Peep
Raptors did everything
schedule.
that they could to lose that game yesterday.
Did you see that shot from Jacoby Walter?
I didn't see it.
That shot, I don't know how it went. It went in clean too.
They did everything to lose that game.
Shout out to the Raptors, man. Shout out to Paolo. I think he had 40 last night. Shout out to the Raptors winning the game unintentionally.
Because they ain't trying to win. Let's be clear about that. They're not trying. They trying to lose.
I think they beat the Magic twice on game winners. So
Cooking them.
shout out to them. Yeah, but that shot was crazy from Jacoby.
Medved said the Mavs doing everything possible to move the franchise to Vegas.
I keep hearing that.
We'll have to
Well,
see.
it's not going to happen.
I don't know if there's any truth to it.
It's not. Vegas is getting a team, and it's not the Dallas Mavericks.
It's not going to be the Mavericks.
No.
Average Joe said Nico didn't want to give Brunson a 4-year, $55 million extension. Laughing emoji. He's been cheap.
That's a lot of money, man.
Actually, don't leave out Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban said he was a part of that too. So that wasn't just Nico.
Yeah, that's
Mark
like
Cuban said he was
$13
a part of
million
that.
a year. That's a lot of money. 14 million? Yeah, it's like $14 million a year. Oof.
KR said the Lakers are bringing back the Toronto 6'8 lineups. I saw Tim McMahon say that Nico plus Kid and Luka's relationship grew bad this season. Kyrie was a mediator, but he always wanted AD.
Nice. And yeah, the Lakers are going with like these all wings. Everyone's big, stop people from getting to the rim lineups. And it's working. So very interesting to see.
Average Joe said Cooper Flag is going to Utah. It's a done deal. I've seen the script.
Oh, so he going back to Duke? All right, okay.
Average Joe also said Utah about to have a front court of Flag, Laurie, and Kessler. They've been waiting forever for this.
Don't forget about Filipowski.
Do not forget about Filipowski.
The Mormon
That would be nice.
special.
Yeah, don't forget about Filipowski,
okay.
man.
That'd be nice.
They have Michael Potter as well.
King Bo said OKC can have 3 or 4 first-round draft picks this year. Let that sink in.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah,
We could have the Sixers, a pick swap with the Clippers. I forget the other team we have. Sam
Presti,
Presti. But it's too many picks to count.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals,
a
and
pick
with the
swap.
fourth pick in the 2025 draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select. Oh my God!
Yep.
And they still got their first-round pick that's sitting out this year.
This was what's so crazy about it.
Mars, give me the kid, Mars.
Yeah, man.
Nah, you good.
Mars,
You good.
give me
Yeah,
the
man.
kid, Mars.
No, you missed out. You missed out on the opportunity, man. I'll see you later.
Give me the kid, Mars.
Average Joe said if Zion wasn't distracted by Wendy's and trying to live a Bug's life, this man would have been a consistent top 10 player these past 3-4 years.
He's only 24. It's not over for him.
What does the Bug's life have to do with anything?
I don't know. I assume that's his off the court shenanigans. I don't know where it relates to the Bugs life, but I mean, I just think Zion got hurt. I don't know how much of it is because of his weight. If I'm being honest, like, it's hard for me to just say, oh, like it's easy when someone is overweight and they get hurt. Like if you lost weight, you could probably lower the risk, which I agree with. But I don't know if he was getting hurt because of his weight. I do think when you're that explosive at that size, I do think you do run the risk of getting hurt. Like not everyone's LeBron, so I think it might some of it might have been misfortune.
Average Joe said 25 to 27 a game on Shaq/Giannis efficiency, and that's while out of shape. Healthy Zion is easily a top 10 guy.
He's not out of shape. He's not out of shape. He's
back now.
Yeah,
He is
yeah,
back.
he's in shape.
But
yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, I'm running a poll on Twitter right now. Who's better between Zion and Donovan Mitchell? It's 49-51 in Donovan Mitchell's favor. So it's quite close.
Mike Valley Production said Dallas have a chance to do the funniest thing this summer, getting Trey Young.
Getting the guy they drafted.
Forgot about that.
Ad said, I hope Philly gives up on Joel so his player value drops so he can make it to the Lakers post Bron. Then we see the greatest offensive duo ever, Luka and Embiid.
At this rate, Bron gonna outlast Joel.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the original point. Mars, don't I have to be physically able to do something in order to be awesome?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joel Embiid, as of today, is not physically able to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know what you're thinking when you get him on the team with Luka, like, yo, it's going to be awesome. I still have to be able to run. I still have to be able to jump. If he can't do that, what difference does it make if he's there?
C2 React said, if the Nuggets or OKC fall short this season, again, trade for KD.
No.
I love this whole, like, KD is the answer to everybody's problem.
Yeah, any team. Right? Just go get
Chill,
KD.
that's a
Throw
good
KD
answer,
anywhere, right, Chill. Throw KD
KD the answer to
anywhere.
everybody's problems.
No.
Love Fadina said, yeah, hold on, nigga. If Zion in the Mobley and Triple J convo, and you think he's better than Ant, you think he's better than D Mitch and Ant?
Yeah, I think Mobley is better than Donovan Mitchell. Yes. Jaren Jackson, I think, is probably on the back end of that conversation. But I'd also have D Mitch and Anthony Edwards in that conversation. That's why we had the conversation. I'm not saying Zion, Mobley, and JJJ are the conversation and D Mitch and Ant are below it. No, I'm saying I would have all of them in the conversation, as suggested by me having the conversation with Chill about Donovan Mitchell. But yes, I think Mobley is better than Donovan Mitchell. Yes, I do.
SMN RNDM with another super chat said Nico speed ran this franchise from one of the brightest futures to poverty. Any other GMs can't do it even if they tried.
So what you're saying is Nico has a skill that none of the other GMs possess.
Yeah.
Hoop never stops. Said Zion is athletic. He just has to get better at basketball. To me, overall. Plus, his game isn't good for playoff basketball.
I
Pretty
disagree.
damn good at
I
basketball.
disagree too.
I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree with everything he
That's
said
crazy.
beyond Zion is athletic. Every
He's
other
pretty
part
good.
that I disagree with.
He's pretty damn
Well, I mean,
good.
Zion
you can
is
always
in the
get
playoffs.
better at basketball. So I agree. Zion can get
No,
better. at
he's
basketball.
saying it
Yeah.
like he needs to get better.
Yeah, like he's saying it like, this guy's
Right.
just too flawed. Like, I
wait a
disagree with that.
minute. He's
But
really
you can
good
always
at
get
basketball.
better. And I definitely disagree if Zion's game isn't made for the playoffs. Like, I think Zion would be amazing in the playoffs. Obviously, in the right situation. You can't just put him around some bums and be like, oh, yeah, go make it happen. But I do think Zion would be amazing in the playoffs. That's something I've changed my mind on from where I was a while ago when I was the Zion hater. So
DSG Piccolo said Tumani got Defensive Player of the Month. We didn't talk about it. Shout out Tumani. I didn't even know that was a thing. We going for all defense. Got a tough task tonight with the Celtics.
I found out about it when Amen Thompson won it. So we're in the same boat.
I've
When
never
Amen
heard
Thompson
this
won it, I was like,
before.
oh, okay, this is
Me
Ron,
either.
I'm exactly today years old that I found out that it was a defensive player of the month. Never
Me
heard
too.
of it.
I found out. I didn't find out about it until Amen Thompson won the awards.
He does have
I-
his hands full though against Boston for sure.
Hey, one steal is all I need to money. Lock him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Asar got like five. So if you can get
Just
one,
one.
that's all I need. One
And
steal.
y'all know it's a Western Conference and Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because
so-
the one Amen Thompson won, Nemhard won it for the East.
Yeah, and in the East this month, Evan Mobley. No surprise there.
Yeah,
No
makes
surprise.
sense.
MP13 said LeBron needs to make a patent for whatever routine he does and then just sell it for billions whenever he retires. He could buy a team wholesale.
Routine. Okay.
All right,
Hey,
so I'm a what's up, Chip?
Yeah, real quick. I don't know if is Vibranium not on the ban list in the NBA.
It's just not on the market in general, but
I'm just
If it's
saying.
not, it
I
should
don't
be,
know.
but shout out to Bron for having access.
Guys, I know you got to speed through these wrong.
yeah, I'm
Hit it.
gonna speed through these last ones.
Mhm.
D Drawn said 37 points in 26 minutes without a three. Zion is insane.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't
Jigsaw
need-
Puzzle said, "What's your Ramadan starting five?"
I don't even know players who fast. I mean, Hakeem, I know he fasts. I know
Kyrie.
Kyrie fasts. I know Jaylen Brown, I think fasts.
Freedom
Uh,
and his freedom.
Nah, we good.
Mahmoud.
He said that we good. He ain't guard nobody.
Mahmoud
Did Kareem first?
I think he did. Yes.
Yeah,
Then
Kareem.
we'll go with Kareem. There you go.
Mhm.
So we'll go Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Hakeem, Kareem, and Mahmoud. Is that what we're
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, there we go.
The one said all Mavs need now is a beam to light after the games.
You might not have many beams to light. You might just start losing a bunch of games.
Zigsaw Puzzle said post game he said he was drawing a foul.
Too much Jacoby Walter. It looked like it. That's what it looked like he was trying to do, but he made the shot.
Finn Jones said Nico's trade put 100-year pox on the Mavs.
Curse of the Bambino.
Damn.
Goddamn.
SM and R&DM said yes. Mars, you get me.
Yay.
Cujo said, how do you feel about the Wolves and OKC matchup?
OKC and
They'll have their hands full.
OKC and 5, maybe 6.
The Wolves usually always play OKC good.
They do, yeah.
Average Joe said Sohan is 21 years old. You don't trade him.
Luka was 25.
Yeah, if Luka can go, Sohan can go.
Once Luka can get traded, I promise you, Jeremy Sohan can get traded. I don't know what to tell you. Promise he can.
SMN R&DM said, I'm going to call it. OKC better pray the Wolves don't get the 8th seed.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an ideal matchup.
No.
I see Houston just there, and I'm like, damn, I got to play Minnesota. Ugh, I'll be mad as hell. But
Makai Russ said Kyrie was playing heavy minutes before the trade.
So
Is that true, yo? He was playing heavy minutes?
He's been playing quite a few minutes for a while, but I think he led the league in minutes up to the ACL, which I think is what people are harping on.
Okay.
At the Buzzer Sports said, ooh, y'all so lucky I'm not up there today.
Damn, John D was about to cook you guys. That's my co-host.
Maybe we'll see him tomorrow. You never know. You never know. Average Joe said 2 months ago, James wasn't on ... Never mind. If you know, you know.
He just made sure he was doing his routine.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Love Fadina said, on God, you don't got an argument over Ant. Zion over Ant. On God, you don't got an argument over Ant.
I don't think you guys know how good I think Zion is, but
No, I know.
Yeah.
SMN R&DM said sneak peek to the debate battle.
The PCL.
Apparently,
You
I got my
never
hands
know.
full.
That might be the championship. King and chill. Sorry. And Mars, hand over the belt and the
Okay,
kid.
buddy. Okay.
Make a Wish kid said, why Curry upped play not being talked about like LeBron?
Here we
Why
go.
Curry's better play?
We just
Here we go.
We just had an episode about
We
the Warriors,
just-
right? And we just spoke about
Yeah,
Steph having
talked about
56, and we called him the most dangerous player ever.
We
and
literally,
said,
talked,
Literally.
literally talked about them yesterday for like a half an hour. We talked
I
about
guess,
them.
but whatever.
All right, y'all. And last but not least, the last super chat of the day is from none other than DSG Piccolo. He said, also, Tumani is like second in the league in defensive stops to Dyson. I think Wemby is still third and Mobley after.
What's a defensive stop? Like,
Yeah,
what are they trying?
Exactly.
Maybe getting a steal.
Tumani
or
is
maybe-
not a better defensive player than Evan Mobley. He's not. And I'm sick of DS with this
Yeah, he's
Portland
not.
Trailblazer propaganda. It shit drives me crazy with him.
Kamani's
It just
amazing
does.
though, but he's not
He's
better.
awesome. I don't think he's a good defensive player. I think he's a great defensive player. But this goes back to what we got finished talking about, Ron. If you don't think this dude is this, you hate him. No,
Chill.
I think
All
Tumani's
he's saying
great.
is Tumani FC.
Defensive
we up.
stops is steals,
That's all we gotta
charges, steals, charges, and offensive fouls. That's defensive
Damn.
stops.
I like that. I actually like that. Steals, charges, offensive fouls.
I wonder where Asar Thompson ranks in that because
Block should be in that too, though. Even though it's not technically a stop, but it's
so
like
I guess that's why it's not. But that's crazy that Wemby is in there and it's not counting blocks.
yeah,
that's true.
That is true.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been an amazing episode. Yo, King, can you let the people know where they can find you at?
Yes, sir. All socials at King Capers, no spaces, CAPERS. I gotta follow my podcast. I got a podcast with Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott's brother called Unwanted Opinion, no spaces. Also, YouTube, everything out there. So appreciate you guys for having me on, man. This is awesome.
Yes, sir. Merry
This
Christmas.
is awesome, man.
And also, y'all, we will be seeing my man King Capers in the PCL, and it will be some other people that you will see too. So y'all
Can't
stay
wait.
locked in. The
Can't
bracket
wait.
is going to drop on Monday, and you guys are going to probably know your opponents before then and the times that you guys are going to battle. Also, King, like I was saying, you might want to go back into the Players' Choice archives and learn about this fella named Dub.
Oh boy.
This might be a problem in the PCL. I don't know when
boy.
you'll see him. Maybe in the championship, maybe in the first round. But just go back and look at Open Gym.
Okay. Hey, I'll
All
do
right.
my research.
All right, y'all. We will catch y'all soon.
Later.
Y'all take it easy.